Division last year, kind of becoming Canada's team. The whole nation jumped on the bandwagon.
I know it's going to be interesting to see tonight. You know, last time I was here was a long time ago, and it was all Red Sox fans. But with the Blue Jays in town, it may be a little bit different tonight.
Well, it's been 12 years since the people of Montreal had a Major League Baseball team to call their own. But tonight and this weekend, baseball is back. We're back for the first pitch from La Stade Olympique. Next. By Jordan's Furniture, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Buy Ace Ticket. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. And by Bob's Discount Furniture. More than 50,000 fans here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal as baseball is back in La Belle Province for the first time, well, since a year ago when the Toronto Blue Jays played the Cincinnati Reds here in an exhibition game. Had about 96,000 fans for the two games in that series last year. They expect about 107,000 or more before these 2 days are over. A groundswell of support to bring baseball back to Montreal. The Expos leaving some 12 years ago. So baseball is the hot topic here in Montreal today. And down on the field, Garen Austin has more.
Thanks, TC. As the Red Sox and Blue Jays play these exhibition games, there is so much excitement having baseball back in Montreal. Here's former Expos GM and current Red Sox president of baseball operations, Dave Dombrowski, on baseball back in the city.
I mean, I thought it was a great baseball city. I mean, I love Montreal. It's a big league city in every regard. They love baseball, a lot of passionate baseball fans here. Also a lot of memories here for people. I think probably the story is, and this is beyond my decision, this is Major League Baseball decisions, but I would say the story is probably very similar to what it was years ago. Somehow there's a new baseball stadium in downtown Montreal. I would think Major League Baseball would eventually come here because it's such a great city.
And by the way, we'll get it out there quickly. Dave Dombrowski battling a little laryngitis or something here today, but he put on a great press conference. At one point, he was talking French to the local media. He talked about the Canadians and the great hockey tradition here in Montreal. Had the media eating out of his hand today.
I'd say he had some very, very good players while he was here, too. I mean, he still goes back. They didn't win a world championship while he was here, but he absolutely loves this city. And everybody that we have talked to this afternoon and tonight, I mean, they want baseball back here in Montreal, but they do need a new ballpark, and they need it downtown, something much smaller than what they're operating in right now.
Great pregame ceremony where they had some of the great Montreal Expos players on hand. Vladimir Guerrero got a terrific ovation. Tim Raines got a monstrous ovation. And Pedro Martinez got a pretty big ovation as well, obviously, with lots of Red Sox fans here as well. Pedro expected to join us up here in the booth later in the game, but it was Pedro Martinez and Tim Raines got to throw out the first pitch of the game today. Just a little outside for Pedro.
Up and in, up and in.
Yeah, as usual, right? Brushing somebody back.
Up and in, and then coming back with a changeup or something away.
Pedro Martinez grabbed the mic, and they asked him to say a few words during the pregame ceremonies, and he said quite simply, Major League Baseball, please come back to Montreal. We need you here. And I think that's the feeling here in Montreal. It was actually on a morning news show here. They asked me to come by. We were talking about baseball's return. And what really struck me, Jerry, is not just how many people are behind the return of baseball here, but the young people. You talk about baseball looking for a younger audience. Well, it's the young people of Montreal who are pushing to get baseball back.
Well, there's a whole generation of fans that have never seen baseball up here, so it's it's something they want to see. They've had some very great players come off out of the Montreal organization throughout the years, and they want it back.
And the Expos, which came into the league in 1969 and then moved to Olympic Stadium in 1977, had their season in 1994. They were the best team in baseball that year. Pedro Martinez was part of it, but a player strike ended the season. There was no playoffs, no World Series, and everyone will tell you that that was the end of any hopes of the Expos getting a new ballpark and staying in town. Red Sox ready to go against the lefty Jay Happ. Mookie Betts in right. Dustin Pedroia at second. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. David Ortiz, the DH. Hanley Ramirez at first base. Travis Shaw, your starting third baseman, as he will be at the start of the season. Chris Young against the lefty in left. Blake Swihart behind the plate. Jackie Bradley Jr. is your center fielder. He'll be going up against Jay Happ, who's back for his second stint with the Toronto Blue Jays last year. Started the season in Seattle and got traded to Pittsburgh. Was just okay in Seattle, but then was terrific in Pittsburgh down the stretch, helping them land a playoff spot. A combined career high 151 strikeouts in 172 innings last season. So the Blue Jays are hoping he can pick up where they left off.
Toronto Blue Jay defense tonight. Josh Donaldson will be at third base. Troy Tulowitzki, the shortstop. Ryan Goins at second, and Justin Smoke, the first baseman. Left to right, Michael Saunders, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Bautista, and Russell Martin, the fan favorite here in Canada, doing the catching for the Blue Jays.
Well, you know, Jerry, I was thinking this is usually where you'd say Buenos noches, amigos. I think tonight we got to go French, okay? We're going to go bon nuit, mon ami, mon ami.
Very good, TC.
Did I get that right?
Work. Excellent work.
I think it was close. I think I butchered a little bit. Bon nuit, mon ami. All right. Our stage manager, Marie, is French, so she's going to help us through all this tonight because some of the PA announcements are being done in French as we get underway before a big crowd here in Montreal, and Jay Happ gets a called strike as Mookie Betts steps in there to begin things here at Olympic Stadium. Betts fouling that one off, so quickly Happ ahead. It's been a nice spring for Betts, hasn't it? 323, he's hitting in Grapefruit League play. 4 homers, 5 RBI. Almost don't get surprised by anything he does anymore, Jared.
No, he does about everything well. You know, runs the bases well, steals bases, great outfielder.
And he'll begin the game with a base hit to right field. So an 0-2 pitch, Betts fights it off, leads off with a single.
And that's really the big difference I've seen in Betts this spring is the fact that he will take the outside pitch when he's down in the count and take it to the opposite field for a base hit. We all know his happy zone is inside. He loves that inside fastball, but now he's handling the outside pitch and taking that to the opposite field and picking up some hits.
So man on, nobody out for Dustin Pedroia here in the first inning, as Pedroia looks to continue his hot run. Ground ball to first base, played by Smoke, back in time for the double play. A
very nice play there by Happ, the pitcher, getting over and doing his job. Pedroia is swinging at that first pitch. It's right at Smoke, who gives a good feed to Tulowitzki at second base. And then the return. Now watch the pitcher immediately go over to cover first base. He knows he's going to have to become the first baseman on this possible double play. Gets there, stretches out like one, and they pick up the deuce.
Told you, he finished well in Pittsburgh last year. From August 8th on, Jerry had the second lowest ERA in all of Major League Baseball. 1.37 is ERA. After that first week of August, only Jake Arrieta was better. Throwing nothing but strikes so far tonight.
Coming right after him with fastballs here early in the count.
Had a career high 12 wins with the Phillies back in 2009. 2 years later, a career worst 15 losses with Houston. He's kicked around a little bit. But again, the Blue Jays, who remember lost David Price, right? You had David Price in a Blue Jay uniform those last couple of months of the season, where he won 9 of his 11 starts. Mark Burley retired, so they had to do something to that rotation. Marcus Stroman is back from injury, joined a team late in the season. He'll be the opening day starter. Jay Happ expected to help bolster the middle of that rotation. Xander Bogaerts now with nobody on and 2 down after the double play. 3-1 the count to the Red Sox shortstop. A couple of home runs in Grapefruit League play. Fouls this one off to the right side. Great energy in the ballpark tonight here, Jerry.
Yeah, we talked about it in the Oakland, TC, and it's great for the players. You know, they spent a month and a half in Florida in spring training ballparks, and all of a sudden you get to this atmosphere. This is very much like an opening day.
Full count from Happ. Misses inside, so Bogaerts works a walk with 2 down. And that'll bring up Big Poppy, and he'll get the big ovation from the big crowd. Tip of the cap for the Red Sox DH. The only player on the Red Sox roster who was in the majors when the Expos were still in the league. First pitch swinging, fair ball, Smoke plays it and tags the bag for the final out. No score, heading to the bottom of the first. Here at Olympic Stadium, Toronto coming to bat. Take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. The defending AL East champs, Kevin Pillar, the gifted center fielder, leading off. Josh Donaldson, MVP of the American League, batting second. Jose Bautista, Troy Tulowitzki, Chris Colabello, Michael Saunders, Russell Martin, the local boy, Justin Smoke, and Ryan Goins, rounding out your Blue Jays lineup. They will go up against the knuckleballer, Stephen Wright, on the mound. He's only given up 4 earned runs in his last 4 outings of spring training play. He won the number 5 spot in the rotation after their injury to Eduardo Rodriguez, and he earned it by having a great spring training.
Certainly did. Last time out against Philadelphia, went 5 2/3 in that game, only giving up 1 run.
First pitch of the game, and he gets a called strike as Kevin Pillar steps up to the plate.
And that was unusual. First pitch of the game for Wright, a fastball.
And he's not afraid to mix in the fastball. Seen a little more of the curveball over the course of spring training. That's the knuckleball that dances away. Talked to him before the game. Jerry asked him about pitching in a dome. He couldn't remember ever pitching in a true dome. He's never pitched at Tropicana Field. He said he's pitched in Houston and in Florida with the roofs closed. But both of those, I think, Jerry, have some open air. You know, that roof in Houston, I know air comes through. I'm not so sure about the one in Florida. I've never been there with the roof closed.
Not in Florida, no.
But here, a true dome. And we know Tim Wakefield always loved pitching in domes for much of his career. This is Kevin Pillar, high, far, and gone.
Well, this is what Toronto does. I mean, they bash the baseball. And that's how they're going to survive, is by swinging the bats, hitting home runs, and scoring a lot of runs. That's the knuckleball that time that stayed very flat for Stephen Wright. And Pillar, about the letter high, just jumped all over it.
Last year, the Blue Jays led the American League with 891 runs scored. They led the AL in homers and on-base percentage and slugging percentage. And Kevin Pillar, who had 12 homers last season, hits his first of the preseason, leading off with a homer for the Blue Jays. Josh Donaldson fouling that one off.
And what a difference this guy made last year for the Toronto Blue Jays. Donaldson was absolutely spectacular. He and Martin both changed the culture of this club.
Gets out of the way of that one. A career .276 hitter last season. Donaldson hitting .297 with 41 home runs. And an American League leading 123 RBI. Called strike there, so Donaldson doesn't like it, but Stephen Wright brings up his first strikeout of the night.
Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense tonight. Travis Shaw will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Hanley Ramirez the first baseman. Left to right, Fritz Young, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, and Blake Swihart doing the catching.
Jose Bautista stepping up to the plate. Last season, another monster year at the plate. 40 home runs, tied for 5th in the American League. His third 40 home run season with the Blue Jays. He's one of only 5 active players with 3 40 home run seasons. David Ortiz, one of the others. A-Rod, Ryan Howard, Albert Pujols rounding out that list. 2-0 from Wright.
Let's see, everybody I talk to that has anything at all to do with the Toronto Blue Jays said they've been going around with a chip on their shoulder all spring training. They felt like they could have gone the whole way last year, but that did not happen, and they feel like this is the year that it is going to happen. The big question for John Gibbons and his group is starting pitching.
They're hoping Happ can help that. As Bautista gets out of the way of that and draws a walk.
Hey, you try to wait till the last minute against a knuckleball pitcher. That time Bautista does and just missed getting hit, but good enough for ball 4 for Bautista.
So 1 down, 1 on for Troy Tulowitzki, who came over just before the trade deadline last year from Colorado. And the addition of Tulowitzki at short, David Price in the rotation, changed everything for this team last year. They were right around 500 for most of the season, just kind of muddling along, and then they got those two players and went 40-18 from August 1st on.
He really helped the defense. He played a great shortstop for him.
It's the 0-1 pitch, fouled away.
And they expect this year for him to swing the bat better because, you know, he's coming into a new league and he was learning the pitches in the league, learning the ballparks. He's got all that under his belt, and I think his offense will improve this year. They are dynamic throughout the lineup.
The 0-2 from Wright. Swing and a miss, strike three. Second strikeout for Stephen Wright.
That looked like a fastball from Wright. Threw it right by Tulowitzki. It was on the inside part of the plate. Tulowitzki may be surprised he was getting the fastball in that situation. You see Swihart tonight using that oversized catcher's mitt to catch the knuckleball, and that time didn't have to deal with the knuckleball, just the fastball for the strikeout.
Last year did a game down in Pawtucket. Swihart was catching Stephen Wright. I said, when's the last time you caught a knuckleball? He said, tonight will be the first time I catch a knuckleball. You talk about a young catcher who's learning the game at major league level. That's a whole other skill set you got to throw in there.
The size of that thing. Even I think TC, you could play catch with that.
I'm not sure about that, Jerry. I need a little more body armor if I'm going to get behind the plate. And to bring up Chris Colabello, the pride of Milford, Mass. What a story he has had. 7 years of independent league ball for the Worcester Tornadoes before he even got a chance to play minor league baseball. And all he has done is work his way into the middle of one of the most productive lineups in all of baseball.
That is a great story, and had a nice year last year for the Blue Jays. A big part of their success.
Ground ball from Colabello. Bogarts is there. Over to Ramirez to end the inning. A homer for Kevin Pillar, a 1-0 lead for the Blue Jays.
What's the most awarded car company of the
the best seats, price, and benefits Fenway Park has to offer. For information on becoming a season ticket holder, please visit redsox.com/season tickets or call 877-RED-SOX-9 today. Red Sox fans have certainly made it north of the border. Not a long drive, certainly, for people living in northern New England. Not really even that long a drive from Boston, about 5.5 hours or so.
Yeah, the last time we were up here was for an exhibition game. I was announcing at the time, and it was like being at Fenway Park. There were so many Red Sox fans. Little different story with the Toronto club up here now.
And like you said, too, a feeling of unfinished business when you talk to the Blue Jays people. You know,
Yes.
They had that thrilling 5-game win over the Texas Rangers. They thought they could have beaten the Kansas City Royals in that ALCS. Remember, they tied it up in Game 6, only to give it up think it was the 8th inning, and they go on to watch the Royals win the World Series. So they believe they can make that next step. But the pitching will be the issue. How do you replace David Price, Mark Burley? That's 2/5 of your rotation. Hanley Ramirez leading off the second here for the Red Sox. Had a nice spring at the plate, .333 with a couple of homers. He's had a nice spring at first base as well, winning over the most ardent critics. He's ahead of the count here, 3-0 against J-Happ.
That's a good take by Hanley right there. That pitch was borderline on the outside part of the plate. He had a zone narrowed down to middle in, so was not biting for the outside pitch.
Taking on 3-0, and he draws the 4-pitch walk to lead off the second inning. Second straight inning, the Red Sox have their leadoff hitter on. Mentioned it before, huge ovation for Pedro Martinez before the game. You'll see that in a little bit. Pedro's also going to work his way up and join us here in the booth, the Hall of Famer, spending 4 seasons with the Montreal Expos before Dan Duquette, who was in charge of the Red Sox, but formerly in charge of the Expos up here, was able to engineer the trade that brought him to Boston. Travis Shaw, certainly the story of spring training has been how well Shaw has played. He's cooled off to .339 in spring training play, but yesterday the word coming down that he will be the starting first baseman. The high-price free agent signing of last season, Pablo Sandoval, will begin the season on the bench.
Well, we started to hear rumors to this, that subject probably about a week and a half ago to 2 weeks ago. And I felt like all along that if Shaw just continued to do somewhat close to what he was doing in spring training, he was going to get the job. And it was very clear to be made by Dave Dombrowski that, I get the players. John Farrell makes a decision on what he thinks is the best team, and right now he thinks with Travis Shaw at third base, that's the best team.
To the point where Dave Dombrowski telling us before the game, John Farrell didn't really believe him at first. Called strike there, and that'll be a strikeout as Shaw takes the called third strike for the first out of the inning. Let's go down to Garrett on the field.
Hey, thanks, TC. Yesterday John Farrell spoke to reporters and made the announcement that Travis Shaw would be the team's starting third baseman. He said that Shaw's defense was the deciding factor. Pablo Sandoval spoke to the media shortly after, you guys, and he said he was happy with the decision. It was the right decision to help the team win. Travis Shaw also spoke to reporters after that decision was made, and he said he was really excited. He felt he did what he needed to do to put himself in the best position, and he's not going to take this for granted, you guys. He said he cannot take his foot off the pedal.
That's exactly right. Very good point, Darren, because, you got a guy that's making a ton of money on the bench right now, and all he is a third baseman. So if you're Travis Shaw, I mean, you've got to start producing from opening day on.
Here's Chris Young, 1 down, 1 on. Of course, the other positional battle that became interesting was left field, right? We said a week ago that it was looking more and more like Brock Holt was going to get put in that mix. That was not part of the original plan. Holt expected to be more of a super utility player on this team, but Rusney Castillo has struggled.
Well, I think what you're going to see, TC, is Brock Holt get the start against right-handers, and this guy right here, Chris Young, get most of the starts against left-handers out there in left field, because throughout his career, Young has been just outstanding against left-handed pitching.
And last year, a .572 slugging percentage against left-handed pitching. That was 5th best in the American League as it fouls this off.
Getting back to the Sandoval situation, I mean, he didn't help himself because, as we all know, he did not come into camp in good shape. He did not have a very good season last year, which surprised a lot of people. He didn't come in better shape and then didn't have a good spring. So, I mean, it was really a pretty easy decision for the Red Sox to make.
Swing and a miss there, so Happ gets Young for the second out of the inning.
That looked like a cut fastball that time. That's kind of a half-hearted swing by Chris Young, fooled by the pitch. Almost like it stopped in the middle and continued on, like he wanted to swing, didn't want to swing, and then had to swing. It was weird.
And that'll bring up Swihart. Hanley Ramirez on first with a leadoff walk. A couple of strikeouts since then. Shaw and Young, and now Swihart trying to make something happen with 2 down. Pitch from Happ. Inside. 2-0 the count to Swihart. Had that impressive run down the stretch last year. Really an impressive season all the way across the board from Swihart, who was not expected to join the big league team as early as he did, but injuries forced him up. He made the most of the opportunity.
I had a chance to do an interview with John Farrell this afternoon, and fairly extended one, and we talked a lot about Swihart and about his defense and how he's improved and how he's softened things up behind home plate. As far as blocking balls, catching baseballs, framing pitches, and it's something he worked on all winter long.
Intrepid reporter Jerry Remy has been on the beat throughout the entire preseason, tracking down the interviews, getting scoops. Swihart, the ground ball, played there by Tulowitzki, not in time. And so Swihart able to keep the inning going.
Yeah, really no option for Tulowitzki. I mean, he can't go to second base because he's not going to get Hanley. So his only option was to try something at first base, but that was a very dangerous throw. I mean, he was almost at third base when he made that throw across the diamond and had little chance to get Swihart. He's also got that third baseman Donaldson diving in front of him, so that may have been one where he'd better off putting it in your pocket instead of trying to make a throw and then making a bad one.
Tell you what, it was impressive he even got that to the first baseman.
Yes.
Off balance, had the sort of stutter step, as you said, lunging over to third base, away from the direction of the throw, as Jackie Bradley Jr. Have a little fun with 2 here. 2 on, 2 down. Sox trailing 1-0. A leadoff homer for Kevin Pillar, giving the Blue Jays a lead. Bradley's quietly had himself a nice spring. 375 he hit in Grapefruit League play with 3 homers. And for all the big stories going on in camp, nobody was talking much about Bradley. He just kept getting it done. That one's in the dirt. A quick bounce back, but not in time for Martin to do anything with it as the runners advance.
I'll take that, a note of that if you're a base runner. I mean, that ball really got back to Martin in a hurry, bouncing off the back wall. So anything to get by the catcher, you got to really hustle to get to your next base. Watch the bounce on this. That's actually a ball that Martin should have blocked, but tried to catch it instead, and it gets by him. 2 men in scoring position.
So a 2-1 count here with 2 runners in scoring position. Bradley lines that to left field. Running in is Saunders, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. 1-0 Jays in the second.
We have a mattress
Swing of baseball season. Download the Red Sox schedule today by visiting NESN.com/schedule. You can import the 2016 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. And now NESN.com/schedule. 55,000 plus here at Olympic Stadium tonight. Both will be a sellout when it's all said and done. A terrific weekend of baseball here in Montreal. Red Sox packing their bags, heading out after tomorrow's game. A day off in Cleveland, an opening day Monday afternoon, a 4 o'clock start at Progressive Field.
We hope. We hope.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
Well, here's the thing, right? The Toronto Blue Jays don't have to worry about the weather. Their problem is they're playing opening day Sunday afternoon at 4 in Tampa Bay. So they went from Florida up here to Montreal. Game tonight, game tomorrow afternoon. No day off, opening day Sunday afternoon against the Rays in Tampa.
Yeah, that's a rough go for Toronto. And as a matter of fact, they've left a number of players back down in Florida. Didn't even bring them up here to Montreal.
The pitcher, Jay Happ, I believe one reliever are the only two big league pitchers who made the trip north. Everybody else stayed in Florida for the little trip over to Tropicana Field. But just about all the starting position players are here. Are pretty much what you'd expect from an opening day lineup here tonight, with the exception of Edwin Encarnacion. You remember he had a little oblique issue, missed some time during camp. So he only had, I think, 8 or 9 at-bats. He stayed down there to get some extra work yesterday and today. The round-trip flight, probably not the best thing for an oblique anyway. Pitch from Wright, Saunders, fly ball to center field. Bradley after it, but he can't get to it. It's gone. Home run for Saunders, second homer for the Blue Jays.
Now Saunders got a fastball on time from Wright and straight away center field for the home run. So home runs coming from Pilar, and now Saunders. Here's that fastball right down the middle and straight away center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. turning and running out of real estate.
Huge ovation now for Russell Martin. Raised and born, well, he's actually born in Ontario, but he grew up in Montreal. His dad, a saxophonist who actually used to play at a subway stop when he was first starting in Montreal. Gone on to be an acclaimed saxophonist. Last year, when they played the Reds here before the season, he played the national anthem. Russell Martin's dad played the American and Canadian national anthems. Drive to center field. Bradley takes a couple steps in. Frozen for a minute. That's a tough read coming right at you, but he's able to make the catch.
Yeah, tough. You know, two toughest plays for center field are that line drive that goes over your head or the sinking line drive that's right in front of you, because you can't tell when it's coming right directly at you how hard that ball is hit. And this one's going to be sinking. You see Bradley freeze for just a second, then he comes in and is able to make the catch and record the out. Nice adjustment by Jackie Bradley in center field.
So one down for Justin Smoke, the former Seattle Mariner.
I got to tell you, these games early against Toronto, and I'm not talking about tonight, but I'm talking about the 3 where we go to Toronto, then they come from 4 to Fenway Park early in the season. I mean, those are going to be, I know it's April, but they're big games.
Well, this is a big hitting team, as you can see here tonight. And as you just said, Jerry, 10. Right, they're going to play 3 and 4, make it 7 of their first 13 games are against the Blue Jays.
Yeah. You better be ready.
And if Pilar and Saunders are hitting home runs around Bautista and Encarnacion and Donaldson, good luck pitching to that lineup.
You know, it's interesting, in my conversation with Farrell this afternoon, he talked, and they've been talking about this all spring, the need to get off to a good start. He said, if you have a good April, you're probably going to have a good season. Well, The Red Sox got their work cut out for them in April, I can tell you that.
At Cleveland, you know the pitching they have. You're going to get Baltimore who can dash, Tampa Bay that can pitch, Houston and Atlanta and the Yankees to finish off the month. Wright brings up his third strikeout of the game. Three strikeouts for Stephen Wright here. With the 2 home runs, the difference is the Blue Jays have taken a 2-0 lead. 2 hits off Wright, both of them left the yard. Kevin Pillar and Michael Saunders with the solo homers, each leading off an inning, as Ryan Goins now with 2 down. Number 9 hitter will face Wright. Wright in his 3rd year with the Red Sox as he faces Goins here. Swing and a miss there, so quickly ahead 0-2.
That might have been the best knuckleball Wright has thrown so far in this game. That one really dropped off the table.
It's the 0-2 from Wright. Fouled back.
Another good one, but a good job of fouling it off by Goins. That one also dropped off the table, but Goins getting a piece of it to foul it off. Almost identical knuckleballs back to back.
Fouled right to the top of the screen here. As Goins battling, staying alive here. Unlike Tim Wakefield, who was a first baseman and then converted when he realized and saw the end of the line as a first baseman, he tried that knuckleball. Stephen Wright came up as a traditional pitcher. So you see him mix in that fastball and curveball a little more often because he was that traditional pitcher before he realized the knuckleball would be his ticket to staying in professional baseball.
I don't think there was any question that Stephen Wright was going to be on this club this year. The question was going to be where. Starting rotation, a bullpen. And when Rodriguez went down with the injury, that opened up a spot. Wright, who was out of options, ended up in that starting role. He earned it in spring training. He pitched very well.
And last year, he certainly was rolling at the end. In 10 of his last 11 big league starts last year, he gave up 4 earned runs or fewer. Then you remember he got that strange concussion the day after a start, was running laps, and a batted ball hit off a wall and then hit him in the back of the head. And it just lingered. It just kept going the rest of the season. Said it was the most frustrating thing he'd ever been through. The 1-2 from Wright. Line drive, base hit. Bradley's got to get way over to knock that and track that down, and Goins will have a stand-up double with 2 down here in the second.
Jackie Bradley had to go a long way to cut that ball off and keep Goins just at second base. But, you know, that's exactly where Goins wants to be with 2 outs in scoring position. This is a very quick artificial surface, and that ball really traveled a pretty good distance, and it was amazing to me that Bradley was able to cut it off. I thought that ball was going all the way to the wall.
Bradley's got great speed, as we know. He was able to track that down before it got by him. Kevin Pillar now with 2 down and a man on second. Pillar led the game off for the Blue Jays with his first home run of the preseason. Ground ball back to Wright. Feels it cleanly and gets it over to Ramirez. So another home run, a 2-0 lead for the Jays. Ticket has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Before the game, great ovation for the Hall of Famer, Pedro Martinez. 55 wins, 33 losses in his 4 years with the Expos. And again, taking the microphone, saying Major League Baseball's got to come back to Montreal. Pedro always knows how to work the house, doesn't he, Jerry? It doesn't matter where you give him a microphone, he knows what to say.
No, he went to take the microphone. He got it. And he wanted to talk, and he talked for a while.
Mookie Betts leading off the third. He led off the game with a base hit, but was erased on a double play. I talked with Pedro back at Winter Weekend that we had in January about this trip, and he was excited about it. He remembers his days here fondly. And again, that team in 1994, and Dave Dombrowski said it again tonight, best team in baseball that year. And there was talk at that point about the city building a new ballpark, an open-air stadium closer to downtown. Betts with a line drive base hit down the left field line. He's thinking 2, if not more, all the way. But a good job by Saunders out there. It's a double for Betts. Second hit of the game for Mookie Betts.
Now rewind to his last at bat. You know, we talked about inside pitches for Mookie Betts and he just cleans out. Here's a great example right there. That was a cut fastball on the inner part of the plate, maybe a little bit off the inside edge, and his hands are so quick. And that's a no-doubt double from contact.
And you think about it, if that 94 team had been able to keep playing that year, if they go on and win the World Series or go deep, not only does it maybe save the Expos, but what happens if Pedro never gets traded? You know, John Wetland became a huge part of that Yankee dynasty that started 4 or 5 years later, right? A lot could have changed in the American League had the Expos kept that team together.
You're exactly right, and they had some great players.
There it is. There, was it We Remember? More or less, I believe what that says. We Remember 1994?
Are you asking me?
No, I was looking past you to Marie.
Okay.
Marie was translating behind you, gave me a nod and a thumbs up. I guess that is the slogan of the city of Montreal or the province of Quebec? The province of Quebec. See, I know just enough French to get me in trouble. Like, people think I know what I'm saying, and I'm quickly out of the game.
I gotta tell you, you surprised me all day long.
This one will be played by Happ, and he'll get Pedroia in time for the first out of the inning, but Betts advances to third here with one down.
Now Red Sox trying to get something positive done here, get a run on the board. So far it's been a couple of home runs by Toronto and not much by the Red Sox. Pedroia's little tap to the pitcher. The pitcher's only play was to first base, and that's exactly where Happ did go, and Betts gets to third now with less than 2 outs.
So one down, a run 90 feet away, and Xander Bogaerts, who walked in the first inning, get an opportunity to try to drive in Mookie Betts here. Bogaerts will be batting third this year. They were playing around for a little while with Bogaerts moving up. This is a chopper back to third base. Over the first time in time for the out, but the run will come as Donaldson thought about coming home, but made the wise play to get the out.
Well, I thought the first baseman came off the bag early on that play. Justin Smoke, but a nice play by Donaldson. Here's the barehanded play on the carpet. Now let's see Smoke. Does he come off early? No, he doesn't. He keeps contact with the bag. Good play by Smoke. And a very good play by Donaldson at third, barehanded.
Now, Jerry, in our pregame meeting, you were pointing out that for all the talk of home runs, probably overlooked is how good the defense is with this Toronto team.
Yeah, they're very, very good. And you know, they got so many weapons. As I said, the only question is going to be their rotation. They got a very strong bullpen. We know they can hit for power, score a lot of runs. They can play defense, strong up the middle defensively.
2 down here for David Ortiz. Fouls that one off his ankle. Gingerly steps away. At the point here at the end of spring training, you're just hoping everybody gets through these games healthy, Jerry.
Well, they won't be in very long, that's for sure. They'll be in probably about half the game, if that.
Trying to keep an audience here, Jerry. What are you doing?
Yeah, but you got to see exciting young players come in.
That's right. We'll see exciting young players, and Pedro Martinez will be joining us. Have I mentioned that every inning yet? To keep the audience. But you saw, Andrew Miller a couple days ago, right? Comes off the field, throwing off the glove, and it sounds like he'll be okay. That chip fracture in his wrist, but it's not his throwing wrist. But that's the biggest fear, right? You lose somebody right at the end of spring training. Ortiz stays in there. Out ahead of that one for the second strike.
I think if there's anything I've noticed with David Ortiz in this last couple of weeks is his head has been leaving early with his swing, almost like he's trying to hit a home run.
The 1-2, and he fouls it right back. Big Papi already had his first farewell celebration down in Fort Myers. Have another one in a few days in Cleveland. They will face 3 teams on the road that they won't go back to. So you'll have Cleveland, Houston, and Atlanta all saying goodbye to him in April. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Sox get one, but they trail it 2-1. Pedro Martinez with us in the booth when we come back. In Montreal this weekend, Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez back wearing his Expos jersey. Great pregame ceremony out there with Tim Raines and Vladimir Guerrero, some of the greats to ever wear the jersey, and a great ovation from the 55,000 or so. Joining us now in the booth is Hall of Famer Pedro Martinez. Nice pregame ceremony, wasn't it?
That was beautiful. So many memories coming back here in Montreal. And this is actually the kind of atmosphere that I was introduced to when I got traded for the line of the Shields in that 94 team.
Yeah, when you came here, they had built a nice team, and you were getting these big crowds. This is an exciting place to play when the fans are supporting you.
And not only during the time you're playing in the field, but when you walk into the city, it doesn't matter what time it is. It's the safest place I've ever played in. And I can say that with all due respect to every other city, but Montreal, you didn't see any crimes. The crime rate was 0 something. So, in every aspect that you look at Montreal, we felt safe.
Donaldson skies that one up near the roof. Bogart's under it for the first out of the game, of the inning, rather. As we are here with Pedro Martinez. There he is in Les Expos uniform. Did you learn any French while you were here?
Le numéro 45. Pedro Martinez.
I say I had to laugh. I saw some of the clips of you when you were so young. And he was so skinny. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like 140 pounds.
154 with my uniform on.
154.
And spikes?
And Sky.
And then your warm-up, your first pitch tonight was one up and in on a right-hander.
Just like everything started here in Montreal. Felipe had so many gray hairs watching me pitch every day and develop.
You know, that 94 team, and we're talking to Dave Dombrowski before the game, best team in baseball. Anybody who watched the game then believes that was the best team in baseball. Had the players not gone on strike, and that team had stayed together, you could have won the World Series, you could have built a new ballpark. Everything could have changed, couldn't it?
I believe so. And you know what? I honestly believe in my heart that we were the best team in baseball. We had really taken over Atlanta, who was probably the toughest team at that time in baseball. And I'm pretty sure we could have probably steamroll over the Yankees. Atlanta, to me, was a better team than the Yankees, and we have beaten the Atlanta Braves in back-to-back series to actually take over the East and actually making a statement.
Some great players you played with up here, and they've had an incredible tradition of tremendous players that have had to leave here and go to other clubs. It's amazing.
Well, that's what happened in Montreal. Every time we build a good group of guys, someone had to go the next year, and it wasn't just one; it was 2, 3, and the people just got tired of, supporting a team year by year, and then seeing the best players go. And I think there's a learning process for the next people that will take over Montreal when baseball comes back.
I was talking to Travis Shaw before the game. His father, Jeff, was a reliever on that team in '94. And Travis was saying that was the closest he'd ever been to going to the playoffs. Never got to be part of a playoff team, and that '94 team would have been it.
Yep, and it's hard to say it, but I babysat Travis Shaw.
You babysat Travis Shaw?
Yes. Gosh, I'm getting old.
So let's hear. I got to hear about this. What kind of babysitter was Pedro Martinez? Were you tough or were you fun?
Well, Jeff would walk around with his wife sometimes, and they were little babies. So I would sit in the lobby of the apartment, the Manhattan apartment where we used to live, and just look over Travis Shaw.
Well, you've had a good influence on him. He's won the third base. What a good young player he is.
He's a wonderful kid and also developing into a wonderful player.
Yes, he is.
His dad is not a bad guy either. I love that guy.
It's a ground ball to short. Bogarts feels it. 1, 2, 3, and you stay with us for another half inning?
Yeah, sure.
That was too quick. We can't get rid of that quick. We're back with Pedro after this. Here was that first pitch from Pedro Martinez, just like he did back in the 90s with the Expos, high and tight on that right-handed hitter. Pedro Martinez, Hall of Fame pitcher, babysitter for hire, joining us now. He stays with us for another half inning. You know, when you played here, and as good as the team was, people used to wonder about, could the team survive in this ballpark? It's a difficult ballpark when you don't have a good crowd here, right? And great energy tonight. But there were games, 15,000, 20,000 people, before you guys really got rolling. It can be a tough place to play, can it? The ballpark itself, not the city.
It could be, but we didn't stop to look at those things. We just wanted to actually do the best that we could to draw the fans over and actually do it also for ourselves. We wanted to get better every day.
Was that a source of pride, trying to win over the city? You know what I mean? You guys worked hard to, and this city really took you to its heart.
If you know the history about Montreal, this was always a team that could compete. They just never got anything to show for, but this was a team that was always in contention, and they were known to have good players all the time. And if you look at the history from Andre Dawson, as Steve Rogers, and Tim Raines, and all those guys, you know, Montreal was a traditional team for having good players.
I know one reason Pedro loves it so much in Montreal, because he got away from the Dodgers, who told him he couldn't be a starter. All of a sudden he comes here and goes to the Hall of Fame. That's one of the reasons you love Montreal so much.
I do love Montreal because Montreal was supportive of me, and you know, to have an opportunity to express how much I appreciate the fact that they supported me. It's just a great opportunity for me.
You know, people talk about, it's obviously a great hockey town, but people forget there is a great baseball tradition here. Jackie Robinson played minor league baseball here before getting his chance. Baseball has been a part of Montreal for a long time. For
a long time, and not only in big leagues, but also they had minor league teams here. And it's always been around. Baseball has always been around as much as you hear about hockey, because they have something to show for. But Montreal has always been good.
Did you ever go to a hockey game here? Did you ever stand
Yes, I have.
It's a crazy
Le Canadiens.
At the old Forum. At the old
yeah.
Les Canadiens.
Les Canadiens. I also ate a lot of poutine here. And I was skinny.
For those of you who don't know, poutine is French fries, brown gravy, cheese curds. Yes. I had some last night. You can't come to Montreal without having, you gotta have a smoked meat sandwich, and you gotta have poutine. The two things you have to have while you're in Montreal.
I better hurry up then tonight.
Well, in our 50s, you might not want to have as much poutine as when you were 154 pounds and a young man.
No, you don't want to do that very often, but you must taste it. You must taste it.
You know, you look at this Red Sox team here, and you've worked very closely with them down at spring training. I think there's a lot of optimism about this team coming together. We saw the young players last year come together. They go get a David Price, a Craig Kimbrell. You think this team's ready to compete for the playoffs again?
I think so. This team seems to be healthy. Everybody's looking forward to this year. I think they understand that they underachieved last year and the year before. And I don't know what is it with Boston. We go from bottom to top and from top to bottom. I'm expecting this year to be different.
Tough division, boy. This Blue Jay team can hit. We've seen it again. They've got a lot of power up and down that lineup.
Yeah, they do. But so do we. So do we. It's just a matter of who stays healthy, who plays the baseball in a consistent basis, in a good way for the entire season.
Travis Shaw holds up there. Chance for him to impress the babysitter here. Could hit a home run with the babysitter watching on TV.
Well, I would love one. I would love to see one for babysitter Pedro.
Pitch from Happ. Oh. Maybe next time. The ground ball deep short. Goins back here at second base, rather. Goins all the way back. Almost in right field, and they get the out there.
You know, Pedro, you've been out of baseball now for a while, obviously. You're in the Hall of Fame, but you haven't completely left baseball. I mean, you still love the game. You still love to be part of, what's going on. I could see that on your face in spring training when you're working with people, and just all this tonight, coming to back to Montreal, you're enjoying the crowd. I mean, it's great that players like you who have been so good and so great in their career, that go to the Hall of Fame, remain as part of the game and remain as part of the history of the game. And I think you, more than anybody, appreciate that.
Well, I certainly do, and I thank God for allowing me to do probably the best thing in life. For me, baseball was everything, continues to be pretty much as part of my life as my family is. And I would never stop saying how much I love baseball, just like I would say I love my family.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of New Englanders consider you family, Pedro. You brought us so many great memories, and I think it's wonderful that you're still with the organization and around down at spring training. I know a lot of fans excited to see you working with the players. It's been a nice way to stay with the organization, hasn't it?
It's just part of what I have to do. I have to give back to baseball what baseball got from me, and the best way to do it is helping to build good players that will be role models for Boston, for the fan bases, and for baseball.
I got to say this. I've been involved in Major League Baseball now since, well, 1975 when I got called to the big leagues. I have played with some great pitchers. I have hit against great pitchers. To me, it was my pleasure to do every one of your games. I mean, you are the best pitcher I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. That's a great compliment, and I know you got to play with many great ones, and I know you got to see a lot of them, and also you got to read about many of them. It's a great compliment. I did what I could, and I'm extremely happy to have been part of it. Don't ask me myself who the greatest was, but I'm glad you feel that way, and I humble myself in front of that. But so many great players. It's hard to believe that you feel that way.
Well, I do. I mean, every 5 days was an event. I couldn't wait till you pitched. You could have told me if I was a hitter that you were going to throw me 4 changeups in a row, and I couldn't have hit them.
Well, thank you.
Pedro, thank you so much for coming on.
Always a pleasure.
Pedro Martinez back in Montreal. We're back after this. MLB.TV Premium is everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game of all 30 teams in true high definition on over 400 supported devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Let's go down to Garen Austin on the field. Garen.
TC, Jerry, before the game, David Ortiz was talking about his relationship with Pedro Martinez, and he said he is just such a great friend. He said he's learned so much from him. He's one of his all-time favorite teammates, and he said he's been a mentor to him about all things in life. And guys, yesterday Pedro was on the team charter to come up here, and he was offered a place to sit up with coaches and management, but he chose to sit back with the team, and he sat right next to David Ortiz, and I talked to him about it, you guys, and he said he had so much fun. They talked the entire flight. It was just like old times.
Thanks, Garen. Just always an honor to spend time talking with him. He's not only a Hall of Fame player, Jerry, but he's a brilliant man. I mean, he really is. You can talk to him on just about any subject, and he's got thoughts.
You know, he's just a guy that's fun to be around. I mean, you know, let's face it, he's full of knowledge. He's a funny guy. I mean, he's just a pleasure to be around. And, like, every time you're in his company, you learn something, you know. So, I mean, I got to tell you, TC, it was, you know, I said it to him, and I say it again, you know, every 5 days that he pitched for the Red Sox, it was just remarkable. I mean, I couldn't wait for those starts.
Well, and the first thing that popped in my mind was you were Nolan Ryan's teammate. Right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, you were around some of the greatest pitchers of all time.
You're right.
And you're telling him he's the best you've ever seen.
You know, the stretch that he had is the best stretch that I've ever seen any pitcher have. And his stuff, I mean, his changeup, you know, to go along with the 97-mile-an-hour fastball, I mean, was unbelievable.
And again, as we joked about the high and tight, he established himself early on as a young pitcher that he would back you off the plate. You could not get too comfortable against Pedro Martinez.
Well, you know, he admitted when he first came to the big leagues, he was trying to pitch inside, but he was wild inside. And then as he got older and got more experienced, he still pitched inside, but on purpose. I mean, there was a purpose to being pitched inside. And I got to tell you, not enough guys do that, in my opinion, in the game of baseball today. If you do, you get stared at by the hitter, or you get warned by the umpire. You know, to me, a lot of pitching is about intimidation, and he was the major intimidator right there.
Stephen Wright strikes out Chris Colabello to begin the fourth inning. 5 strikeouts now for Wright. He's got into a nice little groove here. 5 in a row he has retired, with Michael Saunders coming up. Second half out of the game for Saunders. Had a solo homer to lead off the second inning. Made it 2-0. Red Sox got one back in the third. It is 2-1. Big shift over to the right side here against Saunders. Goes the opposite field. That'll be a base hit. Bradley's on his horse to get over to it. Trying to stretch it into a double. The throw from Bradley.
Wow. How about that for analyzing? Wow. I mean, we talked about Bradley cutting off the gap earlier in the ball game, and watch this. I mean, this is a cinch double. This is 2 bases right out of contact. But look at Bradley go over, backhand the play, get in position to make a throw, and get him at second base. I mean, that is unbelievable. When you make contact as a hitter on a pitch like that and go in that direction, you're thinking 2 bases immediately. And I'll bet you right there, Saunders can't believe he got thrown out.
Great tag from Pedroia, who quickly got it over. This won't go in the record books because it's a preseason game, but 18 outfield assists in 232 Major League games for Bradley, and you just saw why.
Well, 2 impressive things there. First of all, the speed, the break to get to that ball on artificial surface, and then the ability to set up and the arm strength to make a throw the way he did. Just unbelievable.
So Wright gave up the base hit, but gets picked up by his center fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr. Russell Martin here with 2 down, lined out to center field for the first time of the second inning. See his numbers from last season. Can't get out of the way of that one. He gets hit. Wright not happy with himself after hitting Martin with 2 down here in the fourth.
Now give him a base runner with 2 outs, and that ball right out of his hand was headed toward Martin. Martin just spins away, takes it off the elbow guard, makes his way down to first base.
That'll bring up Justin Smoke, who struck out back in the second inning. How big is that play now from Bradley? Instead of 2 on, 1 out. It's a 2-out situation. Smoke trying to keep something going here.
Red Sox in the shift against Smoke. They got Bogarts at the second base side of second base. Pedroia back deep.
The 1-0 pitch from Wright. Misses outside.
Now we see the switch right now as we see Bogarts going back to the shortstop. It's pretty much out of a bunt situation, any kind of bunt, so they'll switch Bogarts, put him back at shortstop, and put Shore on the other side of the diamond.
Fly ball left field. Young got turned around. Fell down as he tried to play it off the wall, but he gets it in. And a 2-out double here for Smoke. Puts runners on second and third in the fourth inning.
Yeah, Young looked confused right out of contact there. He got turned around the wrong way. And once he did that, it was too late to make a play. Maybe by surprise, because Smoke does not go in that direction very often. And there you can clearly see right there, Young is turned the wrong way and then has a little stumble out there. Fortunately, the run did not score.
Good job by Young after losing his balance there to just play the ball and make sure that lead runner Martin had to hold up at third. Ryan Goins now with 2 on and 2 down. Ground ball to Pedroia. Flips it over to Ramirez to end the inning. So no runs. A terrific throw from Jackie Bradley Jr. leaves it 2-1. Premier Hair Loss Doctors, Dr. Robert Leonard, do what Wes Welker, Lyndon Byers, and even I did. We all restored our hair with Dr. Robert Leonard. You'll look younger, feel younger, and you'll get your hair back. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. 2-1. Blue Jays lead. Could have been a lot worse if not for the play and the speed and the arm of Jackie Bradley Jr. New pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Here in the 5th inning, Joe Biagini. Right-handed pitcher. See what he did last year in Double-A Richmond. And he is right on the edge. They think he might be the last man in the bullpen or the next guy to get called up. But, you know, like the Red Sox here, they came into camp with some spots. You know, who would be the number 5 spotter? Sanchez beat out Jesse Chavez and Gavin Floyd. They sent Drew Hutchison back to the minors as they sorted out that starting rotation. But then there were jobs up there in the bullpen as well. And with the injury to Aaron Loop, Biagini has himself a chance to be in that bullpen.
Even with just 1 day left in spring training after today, probably his last outing, obviously. His job is on the line right now, making the big leagues. You can imagine the pressure he feels right now.
Jackie Bradley Jr., how often do you say it? The guy who makes a great play leads off the following inning.
And sometimes he hits second and sometimes third.
But he leads off this inning. Flied out to left field in his first at-bat to end the second inning. Red Sox with 1 run on 4 hits. Blue Jays with 2 runs on 5 hits, but the only hits that have mattered is the 2 solo homers. Leadoff homer for Pilar, and then Saunders with a homer to lead off the second inning. So a homer in each of the first 2 innings for the leadoff hitter. Wright's done a nice job settling down since then. Bradley, fly ball, left field, down the line, base hit. Saunders gets after it, but an easy stand-up double as he pulls up at second base. So Bradley tried to go opposite field in his first at-bat. He does it successfully here in the 4th.
Yeah, hitting the ball well to the opposite field twice tonight. A line drive out back in the second inning. Now a double for Bradley down that left field line. That's what I love to see from him. When he's in pull mode, that's when he gets in trouble. When he starts spraying the ball all over the field, that's when he's at his hottest. And that's what he's been doing most of the spring, using the whole field. Staying back, letting that ball get a little bit deeper that time, and taking that ball, instead of trying to pull it, just go with it the other way and put it on a line. And that's exactly what Bradley did right there. Now Betts, it's got to get him over.
Betts 2 for 2, scored the only run for the Red Sox, had a double, eventually scored in the 3rd inning. It is the 5th inning. I said 4th a minute ago. I got so obviously shaken up by the Pedro Martinez appearance. I actually put the 3rd inning in the 2nd inning column as I was talking to him. Fly ball here, line drive, right field. It'll fall into the gap. Played there by Pilar in center. Bradley coming all the way around, and he'll score the tying run.
Well, that was absolutely beautiful by Mookie Betts, and I'm going to tell you why. I told you that there was a man at second base, and they've got to advance Bradley to 3rd. Well, you can see clearly on this swing how the hands come inside the baseball and move that ball to the center field. He's clearly trying to go the other way to get him over. See where that pitch is? That's inside. But watch his hands. They come inside the baseball. He's trying to go to the opposite field. He goes to center field, and he gets the base hit and the bonus by scoring Bradley. So not only does he get him over, he gets him in. Beautiful hitting.
3 for 3 night for Mookie Betts. Scored a run, drove in a run, and now he's on first with Dustin Pedroia coming up. Pedroia taking a called first strike. Pedroia 0 for 2 on the night. Into a double play in the 1st inning. Grounded back to first base in the 3rd inning, though he moved the runner along. Goes to second base. Goins gets it started. A 4-6-3 double play.
That second double play that Pedroia is into tonight. 3-6-1 and now 4-6-3. Ground ball is going to be right at Goins at second baseman, and just got to go a few steps to his left, spin, and cleared. Tulowitzki did of the run, the attempt by Bogarts or Betts to take him out, and they pick up the double play.
That'll bring up Xander Bogaerts.
Betts, Bogarts, Bradley, a lot of B's.
A lot of B's. The killer B's get it done for the most part for the Red Sox. And another B, Biagini, pitching to Bogarts here. Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Xander Bogaerts. The X-Man with a base hit on for the 2nd time tonight. Enjoy the Fenway experience with your group in 2016. Red Sox group outings are the perfect way to entertain your clients, boost employee morale, and treat the kids to a team out. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. David Ortiz hit his first home run of the spring yesterday. Crowd would love to see him do something here tonight. Get the biggest ovations of all the Red Sox players tonight. Takes a call for a strike. Biagini was a Rule 5 pickup of the Blue Jays. Grabbed him from the San Francisco Giants organization. In Double-A the entire season last year.
He starts off Ortiz with back-to-back curveballs. One for a strike, that one not close.
The 1-1 pitch from the 25-year-old. Up the first base line slowly and foul. Bogart's at first after a 2-out single here in the 5th inning. Red Sox have tied it up on a leadoff double from Bradley and an RBI single from Mookie Betts. Down in the dirt, and Bogarts will advance. Tuesday, April 12th is David Ortiz necklace giveaway night at Fenway Park. It's Big Poppy's at the plate here. First 15,000 fans in attendance receive an Ortiz 500 necklace courtesy of FW Web. For tickets and info, go to redsox.com/promos. You gonna wear your David Ortiz necklace that night?
I'm gonna borrow one of David's.
The real thing?
Yeah.
Swing and a miss, so the young pitcher gets it. But the Red Sox tie it up. A run on 3 hits. It is 2-2 in the 5th. In the swing of baseball season, download the Red Sox schedule today. Just visit NESN.com/schedule. You can import the 2016 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. Check it out at NESN.com/schedule. Opening day looming on the Red Sox schedule, but a couple of preseason games here north of the border against the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox have tied it up. An RBI single from Mookie Betts in the 5th inning. That's 3 for 3. He scored the first run, drove in the second run. And Stephen Wright back out for a 5th inning of work going up against the top of the order. Kevin Pillar began the game with a home run. Solo shot in the 1st inning. Getting his 3rd look at Stephen Wright. Gets a strike to start the at-bat. 0-2, Wright gets ahead of Pilar. You know what's interesting, Jerry? Stephen Wright winning the number 5 spot in the rotation. You know who he opens up against?
Toronto?
Toronto Blue Jays on Sunday, the end of the first road trip. They will actually hold him until the 6th start of the season as he gets Pilar chasing 6th strikeout of the game for Stephen Wright.
A little bit of a high knuckleball that time for the strikeout. They say let it fly when it's high, and that time Pilar did, but no contact.
Just to finish the thought there, they're going to go with David Price on regular rest, right? So instead of going to the number 5 starter, that 5th game will be started by David Price because he's a day off in Cleveland.
Right.
Stephen Wright will go on Sunday. Now, again, that all changes if there's a weather issue that impacts opening day. If that gets moved to Tuesday, then you'd flip-flop the two of them. But they want to keep Price on that regular 4 days of rest and get him as many starts as they can get him. Stephen Wright, of course, thrilled to be on the opening day roster. People forget. I read somewhere saying it'll be the first time since Tim Wakefield, a knuckleballer's on the opening day roster, but he was on the opening day roster last year out of the bullpen. This one's coming back up here, just out of my reach. Maybe by about 40 feet.
Well, if you had long arms,
Yeah.
TC, maybe you had a shot at it.
There's David Price. It's actually right in front of Mark Shapiro, the new president of baseball operations, overall president of the Toronto Blue Jays. Former head of the Cleveland Indians baseball operations. He's over to our left, and that ball was just a little short of their booth. There he is, right in the middle, Mark Shapiro. You know, it was interesting because the move had been made to bring Mark Shapiro in. And, you know, as respected a guy in this game as there is, Jerry, a lot of, some of the Red Sox front office people, including John Farrell, who was on the baseball ops side in Cleveland under Shapiro. But, you know, Mark Shapiro has been one of those guys who has sort of groomed a lot of good front office people who have gone off to different teams around this game. Ground ball to second base. Pedroia up with it. There's 2 down.
We got executives all over the place. I mean, we have the Red Sox executive next to them, and we have the mayor of Montreal was just up in the hallway, and I thought I was going to get arrested. There was so much security around him.
He's a big deal up here.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, you know, there's some cities that a mayor's a big deal and some he isn't. He's a big deal.
You could tell by the ovation that he got.
There's Dave Dombrowski, Mike Hazen, the general manager next to him. Dave Dombrowski, of course, former general manager of these Montreal Expos, but Denis Coderre, I believe I said it right. When there's one N, by the way, D-E-N-I-S, that's when it's Denis. 2 N's, it's Dennis.
Okay, so
I've
Denis
learned that.
Denis the mayor?
The Honorable Denis Coderre, who is very adamant about getting Major League Baseball here in Montreal. In fact, the city of Montreal has already put $11 million into Little League fields around the town, trying to grow the game at the youth level already. They're a long way to go to get it done here in Montreal. They know they need an ownership group to step up, but he has been upfront saying, you'll get public funding. The city and the province will get the stadium built. Pop fly, the pitcher, Wright gets out of the way. Hanley Ramirez comes in. So a 1-2-3 5th inning for Wright. We're still tied at 2. car enthusiasts, Nesson Fuel, your new home for everything automotive, including exclusive driver interviews, race recaps, and a whole lot more. It's NessonFuel.com. Check it out and follow Nesson Fuel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. There's the Honorable Mayor, Denis Coderre.
Denis got a Pedro Martinez shirt on.
Yeah, it looks like he's got an autograph on his Expos hat, too. I'll tell you what, I've seen more Expos hats and T-shirts than I had. I used to cover this team, right? My first job was about 50 minutes away down in Plattsburgh, New York, first station right out of college. And in 86 and 87, I used to come up here and cover this team. A lot of their games weren't on TV, so I'd actually come up with a TV camera and shoot highlights to bring back to the news station. And as a kid who grew up in New England loving baseball, it was a great opportunity to be around the major league sport. That was back in the mid to late 80s. If you remember, by the turn of the millennium, things had gotten tough. In 2003, they wound up playing 22 home games in Puerto Rico and then split their games in 2004. That's a picture of the last home game played here, September 29th, 2004. Now the Washington Nationals, and that has certainly worked out. The Nationals, great ballpark and a great following in our nation's capital. But the belief is that Montreal will keep pressuring Major League Baseball. Yeah, and let's face it, Jerry, there's two ways it could happen, right? Baseball could expand, which there's a little bit of talk as you look at the new pitcher, Ryan Tepera, the 28-year-old, made 32 relief appearances last season with the Blue Jays, had a 3.27 ERA. '19th round pick in the 2009 draft is Hanley Ramirez, 0 for 2 on the day, a couple of ground outs to third base. But Montreal is going to get a baseball team one of two ways. Major League Baseball would have to decide to expand, and there's talk maybe after the next CBA that'll be something that Major League Baseball puts on the radar. Or a current team would have to move, and the obvious possibility there is the Tampa Bay Rays, who have had their stadium issues in St. Pete, are now in a window where they've been granted the ability to look for a new site and investigate funding down in the Tampa Bay area. Swing and a miss there. Count is 2-2.
That's the thing about Tampa. You wonder, if they did move closer to the city of Tampa, would they draw better? I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a higher populated area than where they are right now, but I just don't know. You look at the Miami Marlins, and they don't draw very well.
Former Marlin Hanley Ramirez fouls that off. And if that team ever came here, or you were to expand and put a team here and maybe realign so that a Montreal team was in the American League East, now you're talking 19 games against the Toronto Blue Jays, which would be a tremendous rivalry. 19 games against the Red Sox, with all those Northern New Englanders coming up to see the Sox. 19 games against the Yankees, with all kinds of Northern New Yorkers coming up. It's not a long drive from there. So that's a third of your schedule, basically, against three terrific rivals. Ground ball up the middle on a base hit for Hanley Ramirez. So the starters staying in there a while tonight, Jerry. Might not be the case tomorrow, but these guys all appear to be getting 4 at-bats anyway. Yeah, it looks like that's what the game plan is for the Red Sox. I think, a pretty good workload in this one tonight, and then tomorrow a very light workload because, they've had plenty of at-bats this spring, and you don't want to take that chance of getting anybody hurt the last couple of days of spring training. So here's Travis Shaw, 0 for 3 on the night so far, but a leadoff single for Hanley Ramirez. Get something going here in a 2-2 game, top of the 6th at Olympic Stadium. Shaw, we've learned tonight, babysat by Pedro Martinez when his father, Jeff Shaw, was a relief pitcher for the Montreal Expos. And he doesn't remember, I was talking to Travis before the game, he doesn't remember hanging around here in Montreal, but he's got pictures of himself with his dad when he was like 4 years old. His dad was pitching for the Expos. And here's a fly ball, right center field. Over to make the catch on the warning track is Kevin Pillar. Hanley Ramirez was almost all the way to second base, so a full sprint to get back. One down here in the sixth.
That ball didn't carry very well. It sounded good and contact at home plate, and it just kind of died as it got into the outfield. You can see Shaw looking back at the video screen. He felt like he hit that ball pretty good, but it just barely made it to the warning track. I thought it had a chance to get out of here.
We have some changes defensively. Ezekiel Carrera now in right field. That's Roman Fields, who actually made that catch. I beg your pardon. Fields making the catch in center field. Andy Burns is at third base. Chris Young at bat for the Red Sox. 2 for 3 on the night with a couple of singles. Hitting .252 last season. With the New York Yankees, signing a free agent contract with the Red Sox over the winter. Gets out of the way of that one. Sox and Blue Jays playing 19 games against one another this season, but as we pointed out earlier, 7 of the first 13 games for Boston against Toronto this year. Chris Young with a fly ball left field. Saunders getting over to it, and he'll make the catch in the corner. A second long fly ball out of the inning. April means baseball is back at Fenway. Great tickets for the opening homestand, including Patriots Day, the Marathon Monday game. Still available. For more information and to buy tickets, visit redsox.com/tickets.
Well, the Red Sox have made some pretty good contact in this inning, but only the one base hit. Ramirez still at first base. Long fly ball by Shaw. That ball hit pretty well by Young. But 2 outs and a man at first.
Yeah, about 200 meters worth of fly ball, you would say up here, Jerry.
Yeah, I was looking at the distance on the fence, 99 meters down the line.
It's a short right field porch, isn't it? It's 99.
I said, wow, it was short here.
It's about 325 feet to you and me. Ground ball from Swihart. Second baseman Goins gets it over. So the leadoff single for Ramirez doesn't lead to anything, and we're still tied at 2.
First.
Ticket has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-BUY-SEATS. Stephen Wright back out here for the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, knowing he's not going to pitch for, 8 days? Letting him air it out a little bit tonight. Troy Tulowitzki 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout. Six strikeouts on the night for Stephen Wright. Pretty good night so far overall for Stephen Wright. Those solo homers, but you know, we saw that with Tim Wakefield. A knuckleballer's going to give up the odd home run. If you can keep it to a solo homer, you can limit the damage.
It has been another strong performance by Wright, even though he has given up 2 home runs. I mean, Red Sox right in the game. They're all tied. He's done his job.
Troy Tulowitzki last year had 11 postseason RBI as the Blue Jays made it back to the playoffs for the first time since 1993. A 22-year stretch without a playoff appearance for the Blue Jays. From the World Series championship of 1993 to a long stretch of being a doormat in the American League East.
Boy, the crowds really picked up, didn't they, in Toronto last year?
Sure did. 2.7 million pretty much they brought in last year. The biggest attendance number they've had in 15 years. Full count here to Tulowitzki. The pitch from Wright. Swing and a miss. Foul it off. Fouls it off, so he stays alive.
Got to give props to Blake Swihart behind the plate. He's done a pretty decent job tonight with that knuckleball of Stephen Wright.
I've talked a lot about the development of Swihart defensively behind the plate. Certainly you're challenged with a knuckleballer throwing it to you.
You see how he sets up. I mean, Doug Mirabelli started this with Tim Wakefield, and it's kind of carried over for most catchers who catch the knuckleball, and that's where they kind of open their stance. Their right leg will shift over and kind of point down that first base line to open themselves up a little bit. That helps them get to that knuckleball that gets away. Right there, you can see that.
Swing and a miss. 7th strikeout for Stephen Wright.
Yeah, second time he's got Tulowitzki tonight. 0 for 3 on the night, 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, when you talk to catchers who have caught the knuckleball, the toughest part is you let the ball come to you. You got that instinct to sort of reach out and grab it, but you can't do that with the knuckleball.
Exactly. Instead of jabbing at the ball, you almost got to let the ball play you.
Chris Colabello was 0 for 2 on the night. I was talking to Colabello earlier, and we were talking about how crazy Canada became for these Blue Jays. He said he spent a lot of time up in Canada this winter doing events for the for the Blue Jays, but one of the hockey games, I bring up the Maple Leafs, one of the hockey games he went to was in Edmonton. Actually, as far out in Edmonton, he and his wife were at a game. He said he got a huge standing ovation from the entire crowd at Rexall Center in Edmonton. You think about that. That's like a Red Sox player getting an ovation in Chicago. You know, that's a long ways away.
Yeah.
But the entire country of Canada kind of took this team to its heart. And Colabello gets his first hit of the game. So a base hit with 1 down here for Chris Colabello. Game tied up at 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Tomorrow morning on Dining Playbook, Billy and Jenny take you around town on a Boston Duck Tour. Plus, find out what Xander Bogaerts loves to eat for breakfast. Catch it all tomorrow morning at 9 on Dining Playbook. Colabello will come out of the game for a pinch runner. And that will end his day. John Bertie is the pinch runner for Colabello. Nice to come out after a base hit, right? Good way to end your day work.
Well, you're talking about, the popularity of the Blue Jays, and they were a fun team to watch play last year because of all the offense they had.
Bertie, first pitch going, and the throw gets by Bogaerts, but Bradley coming in quickly to bag it up, so nothing further. That's a stolen base for Bertie.
Yeah, if you got any kind of speed at all, I mean, you love to be at first base when a knuckleball is on the mound because, we mentioned many times it's 50-50 whether the catcher's going to be able to handle it or not. So, and it takes, a little bit longer to get the home plate because of the speed of the pitch. Bertie right off the bench picks up the stolen base, almost like a surprise to everybody. That'll bring up Michael Saunders, 2 for 2.
Home run in the second inning, then a single in the fourth, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double on the defensive play of the night for Jackie Bradley Jr. Saunders was acquired from the Seattle Mariners prior to last season. You know who they traded to get him, Jerry? Jay Happ, the guy who pitched tonight. They traded Happ to Seattle to get Saunders, and then brought Happ back as a free agent signing this offseason. Saunders expected to be the starting left fielder this season. As Bertie gets back, Wright checks him back.
No prearranged play there. Bogart's just breaking to second base. It was almost like he was holding him on. And Wright decided to turn and throw there, but just not in time. You see Bogart's playing right behind Bertie at second base.
Here's the 1-2 from Wright. Fouled off as Saunders stays alive. Red Sox with action in the bullpen. That is Robbie Ross Jr. getting warm. The bullpens used to be in foul territory here, Jerry, way back in the day on the first and third base lines. Very tight quarters out there. Now they're way back there behind that center field wall. I think behind that black curtain that you look at. Swing and a miss there. Swire has to get it to Ramirez, but the second strikeout of the inning. 8 strikeouts now for Stephen Wright.
Yeah, TCU talking about that backdrop where the bullpens are. That is a great hitter's backdrop right there. That is just, you know, it's black, it's big, it's huge. You really pick the baseball good up at home plate. I think every hitter would love to have a backdrop like that in every stadium.
The Expos moved in here in 1977 after playing 8 years at Jerry Park, or Park Jerry, as they would call it here in town, as Dave Dombrowski appropriately called it.
Right.
In his press conference earlier. When this ballpark was first opened, as Montreal's old Russell Martin coming up to play, it was an open-air stadium. That roof wasn't there. They added the roof some 10 years later. See that roof up there. I was here covering it the day they added the roof, and it was orange at the time. Big orange roof in the middle of all this. Not the prettiest thing in the world. Ground ball from Martin. Bogarts knocks it down, but he can't make a play. Tries to get the runner Birdie over at third. That'll be a single for Russell Martin, who gets on base for the second time tonight.
Now, at least Bogarts could get over there and knock it down and prevent a run from scoring. I mean, there's no way he's going to get the man at first base on that. So you just try to knock the ball down and keep a run from scoring. You see Bogarts from that position, if he feels that ball cleanly, he's got no chance at first base.
So the play from Bogarts will keep a run from scoring, but that'll end the night now for Stephen Wright, who will come out of the game having gone 5 2/3 innings. Hey, take a look at Olympic Stadium during the day, and you can see the cables that come down on that roof. And again, the original idea was that it would be a retractable roof, that the cables would pull the roof up, but it just never worked. So it's been anchored down since they put it in 1987. Again, that's what it looks like from the outside. Now, from the inside, they've made it a darker material on the inside, and you can see that blue. But imagine that being orange, kind of hovering over the whole thing. It was a little disturbing.
Well, for a dome, I mean, at least you can see the ball on this dome. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of them, they have that white top, and it's very difficult to pick up the baseball. But here, it's dark, and you can. The only problem here is the lighting. They have 3 layers of lights, which is very, very strange. And I would imagine those come into play on line drives and fly balls to the outfield.
Right, because as the ball's rising, you're going through that first level of lights,
Right.
and it's going up into the second and third level of lights. 2 down, 2 on. Robbie Ross Jr. now in to face Justin Smoak. Smoak 1 for 2 against Stephen Wright. Had a double in the 4th inning. 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss there from Smoak.
Good breaking ball there by Ross. Smoke sitting on a fastball that time, didn't get it in a 1-0 count, got the breaking ball and the swing and miss.
Ross, a career 3.45 ERA as a reliever. Smoke, fly ball to right field. Betts loses his hat, but he makes the catch. And the Red Sox get out of the inning. Tied at 2, heading to the 7th here in Montreal.
With a good night, 8 strikeouts on the night. We'll look at the last 4. Colabello going down on a knuckleball. Same with Pilar. Tulowitzki. And then Saunders on a knuckleball that he has to be thrown out at first base on. So another good outing tonight by Stephen Wright. A couple of home runs allowed, but solo home runs, and we're all tied at 2. Hey, Hanley. Hey.
Hanley Ramirez joining us. Hanley, how do you think Stephen Wright pitched tonight?
Oh, I told him just throw it right in the middle, you know, don't try to do too much, and he did pretty good.
There is pitching coach Hanley Ramirez helping us out here in the 7th inning. Stephen Wright scheduled to join us, and now he does after a little advice from Hanley Ramirez. Stephen, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So I asked you earlier today, what was it like to pitch inside a dome against a lineup like this? You can tell us now. What was it like to pitch in a dome like this?
It was a little bit different at first. I had, like I told you earlier, I had a couple of experiences, but today it was dropping a lot more than I have, had, but it was consistent. So that's good. When you have consistency, then you can start working with kind of raising it up a little bit to get some called strikes. Because at first I was falling behind a little bit, which made me throw a couple more fastballs than I would like. But I was able to make that adjustment, so it helped out.
Stephen, this is going to be a great thrill for you to be in the starting rotation to start the season. It's been a long road to get there, but you've gotten there, and well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's nice to be in the rotation, but I mean, I'm a realist. It's Eddie's job. I'm just trying to hold it down for as long as I can until he comes back. But we need Eddie, and so he's going to be able to get back in this rotation, and then we'll just go from there. But I'm excited to go forward in the rotation for the time being, and I'm just going to take full advantage as much as I can of the opportunity.
Stephen, you've said all along, start, relieve, doesn't matter. You want to be on this team and contribute. That versatility, do you believe that helps you going forward with being able to fill different roles on this team if needed?
I think so. I mean, I've been, I feel like over the last couple of years I've done both. It's the same statement that I've had before. I just want to pitch. I think that, having that mindset, I definitely think helps me going forward to where when that time does come, when Eddie comes back and, I make that transition probably to the bullpen, which I'm totally cool with. I don't mind it at all. And, I just want to pitch. And so as long as I can, Jim Rice told me last year, as long as I'm on the plane and off the bus, I'm a happy man.
Yeah, Stephen, I was watching Swihart tonight. Looked like he did a very nice job behind the plate there. Very smooth.
Yeah, I mean, Swi's been working hard to catch all of our pitchers, and he does a good job with me. I love throwing to him. I feel confident. Any count, any runners on third, just to really just fire it in there. And it definitely helps when you got somebody that works as hard as he does to give me confidence to just go out there and just try to attack the strike zone.
Stephen, I'll ask you finally, if things stay as scheduled, your next start will be in Toronto against this same team. Any advantage or disadvantage seeing the same team twice?
I mean, it's just nice to kind of get out there and see him in the box, to see, because I haven't faced everybody on this roster that I can remember. So it's just to see him, in the box, see how they stand, and, so when I get, when I do face him on next Sunday, it just has an idea. But I don't think as far as like, me seeing them or them seeing me. With the knuckleball, it doesn't really matter because I don't even know where it's going half the time, and so neither do they. And so it just, as far as, just changing speeds and just keep attacking the strike zone, I think, I can help put a team in a situation to get a win.
8 strikeouts tonight. Next up, the regular season. Congrats on making the rotation, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, Stephen Wright joining us down in the dugout after his night of work has come to an end. Here in the 7th inning, Jackie Bradley Jr. grounded out. Mookie Betts with a strikeout. Now Dustin Pedroia staying in there for his 4th at-bat of the game. 4th or 5th? How many at-bats Pedroia got tonight? He's 0 for 3 tonight. That'd be his 4th.
This is going to be his 4th, DC.
Thank you. I messed up my card somewhere along the line.
I've already missed 2 outs this inning. Doing the interview.
You got a 6-3 for Bradley.
Okay.
And a swinging strikeout there for Betts. They had to throw him out 2-3 as the catcher had thrown him out.
I'm all caught up now. We got a side-winding right-hander on the mound.
Yeah, this is Will Browning. Will with 1 L. The fly ball there will drop in for base hits. Dustin Pedroia gets his first hit of the night. Take a look at Stephen Wright's numbers for the evening. 5 2/3 innings, scattered 7 hits, both runs coming on solo homers. Only walked 1, struck out 8. Those are good numbers for a knuckleballer.
Yeah, that's very impressive for Stephen Wright. The 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and by not walking people in this ball game, the 2 runs, only 2 solo home runs. So that's a good thing for Stephen Wright.
Dustin Pedroia comes out after his base hit. Josh Rutledge will come on as the pinch runner. 2 down here in the 7th inning, a 2-2 game. Ground ball played there by Burns. No chance for the play, but a terrific stab. Well, she'd have had runners in scoring position or maybe more.
Yeah, that ball possibly could have got down the line and ran all the way to the 99 meters. But it was played by Adams down at third base. And that really keeps the Red Sox from getting that go-ahead run, maybe. That ball inside on Bogaerts. And look, if that ball gets by him, it runs all the way down to the corner. The Red Sox probably pick up a run with the man at first base.
So Bogaerts will come out. A nice night for Xander Bogaerts with a couple of hits, a 2 for 3 night. Had a walk, drove in a run, and Brock Holt will take over as the pinch runner. Meeting on the mound here, and we're going to have a pitching change for the Toronto Blue Jays, and we will have Chad Garoto coming in relief of Browning. We've got 2 quick outs, but then back-to-back singles here. We'll take a break and come back. Looking for the best seats to the biggest games? Check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace at redsoxreplay.com. It's the best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game. New pitcher here as Chad Garoto will come in and Pablo Sandoval will come in. Pinch hit here, take the place of David Ortiz in the lineup. Sandoval hitting .223 in 17 Grapefruit League games. Garoto, a 25-year-old left-hander, moved his way up to AAA last season. Spent a good amount of time with the New Hampshire Fisher Cats in AA with a 0.62 earned run average. So now it's all about watching Sandoval when he gets the opportunities along the way, Jerry, what he's able to do to sort of regain his spot on this team.
And there will be opportunities. It's not like, he's benched forever. I mean, there are going to be chances because Shaw can move around, but he's going to have to take advantage of those opportunities.
Quickly ahead, 3-1 here. It was interesting when John Farrell was asked today before the game. The question essentially was, could you see him making it back in as an everyday starter in the shape he's in? And he kind of said, that's what we're working on. In other words, he's still got to get himself in better shape to be the everyday third baseman. Thought he had ball 4, instead it's a called strikes. The count now full.
It's hard for Sandoval to complain about call strikes because he swings at almost everything, but that pitch looked like it was a good 6 inches outside. I don't blame him for that one.
Sandoval, right-handed hitting here, swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 singles with 2 outs, but nothing comes of it. We're still tied at 2. This Red Sox game on NESN is brought to you in part by Ace Ticket. Visit aceticket.com or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Tom, Karen, Jerry, Remy, Darren Austin with you. No fooling on April 1st. We're in Montreal at Olympic Stadium. The Red Sox and Blue Jays are tied up at 2 apiece. They just had their traditional Expos song, Valerie, Valera, something like that. Is that how it goes? I'm trying to get confirmation. Something like that, right? Valera, Valerie, Valerie, Valdury. There you go. Valdury.
You're killing me, TC, with this French.
I'm trying my best. My ancestors are rolling in their graves. You know, my grandfather was born in Trois-Rivières, Quebec. Supposed to know French. They've lost it all along the way. Giovanni Mir hitting .333 in spring training play, going up against Robbie Ross. It's the Red Sox trying to have a little something going there in the 7th inning with 2 on and 2 down, but Sandoval pinch hitting. Unable to get something going. Robbie Ross issues the leadoff walk here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Fields for the first time tonight. Roman Fields came in as a defensive replacement. He'll get his first at bat. And the leadoff spot vacated by Pilar, who was 1 for 3 with a home run. And a bunt here, quickly fielded by Robbie Ross. He looked at second base and then got it over to Hanley, who had a little bit of trouble with the footwork, but he got his foot down on the bag for the out.
I think if Ross had to do this all over again, he'd go to second base because he was in good position to make that play. When he looked up, I thought he had a chance to get the lead runner. And that's big in a 2-2 game. And watch where the runner is when he gets this. I think if he throws the shortstop there, he gets him. Hanley coming off the bag, then going back to tag him. There's Ross. He takes a look but decides not to go. And I think if he had to do that all over again, he probably would have had that play at second base. So let's see if that becomes a factor.
1 down now. Andy Burns getting his first bat of the night. Burns, another defensive replacement. Came in at third base for Donaldson. Another one of these young Blue Jays hitting well at spring training. Fouls that bat, count is 1-1. Another foul ball. Robbie Ross, part of the bullpen, heading to Cleveland. Really no roster spots left. Everything's been announced.
Yeah, I just hope that everybody stays healthy for the remaining innings of this game and tomorrow. And your 25-man roster is set.
Gets the outside corner, strike 3. So a big strikeout for Robbie Ross in the second out of the 7th inning.
That's a very good curveball. You know, it starts so far outside against the right-hander and then breaks back to pick up the outside corner. And it's really one as a right-hander hitter you quit on because you think it's going to be way out. And then it comes back and just gets the corner. And Burns can't believe it. And that ball looks a mile away from you.
Ezekiel Carrera now. Another Blue Jay who came in as a defensive replacement, hitting the spot where Jose Bautista was 0 for 2 with a walk. Take a look at the defensive changes for the Red Sox. Here's Nate Castillo into the game in right field. Brock Holt, who came in as a pinch runner, stays in Bogart's spot as the shortstop. And Rutledge, who also came in as a pinch runner, will stay in the position of second base. 0-2 pitch to Carrera high. Tried to get him to chase. Carrera 91 games with Toronto last season. Hit .273. 3 homers and 26 RBI, all career highs. And kicked around with Cleveland and Detroit. At the time of Philadelphia as well. Hits the bag, fair ball. Ramirez tries to get to it but can't. Now we'll get after the ball as Meyer has to stay at third base. So looked to be a routine ground ball out. But it hits the bag to stay in fair territory, and Ramirez couldn't make a play. That's a base hit for Carrera.
Yeah, you got it all lined up, did Hanley Ramirez, but then it hits the bag, and after that, it's fair game. I mean, I was a little bit surprised they didn't try to score that runner from third base. That ball was bouncing around everywhere. I mean, Meyer's going on contact, so he's probably already at third base. And then you can see the ball hit the bag, and once this thing's bouncing around, I thought they would send the runner, but there's hitting front of the bag and then bounces up over the head of Ramirez. So that's a little bit of a break for the Red Sox. I mean, a bad break that it hit the bag because it would have been an out, but a good break that the run didn't score.
Darwin Barney, the first at bat of the game. He was picked up mid-September last year. Post waiver deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Traded from the Dodgers for catcher Jack Murphy. Ended up getting into 15 games with the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss there. With men on the corners and 2 outs. A 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 7th. Capacity crowd at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Blue Jays, the home team, trying to make something happen. Against Robbie Ross, runner going for first. Faking the throw, but no attempt, and Carrera will get into second base safely.
Yeah, the play right there was not to throw through because none of the middle infielders, watch them, are going to cover second base. This is set up to be just a fake throw, and hope you can catch the runner from third base coming too far off the bag. They had no intentions of throwing through on that.
Strike 3, gets the outside corner and gets out of the jam. So 2 runners left on. We head to the 8th time.
Now
Tie game here in the 8th inning. Hair loss expert Dr. Robert Leonard has helped me and so many other men regain their youthful appearance. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait another day. Treat your thinning hair with a complimentary consultation at Leonard Hair Transplant Associates. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR. You'll be happy you did. I certainly am. Red Sox have now out-hit the Blue Jays 10-8, but we are all tied up at 2 apiece, each team leaving 8 men on base as Hanley Ramirez leading off the 8th inning here. Nice of Hanley to join us briefly during the Stephen Wright interview.
I wanted to remind Hanley that we are on live TV.
It's a good point by you. Had nothing but good things to say about Stephen Wright. Smart man. Stephen Wright striking out 8 Blue Jays tonight. Just the 2 solo homers leading to the damaged Red Sox. The run in the 3rd and the 5th. They trailed this game 2-0. Now looking to get the go-ahead run here in the late innings. Top of the 8th, tied at 2. Outside, the pitch from Garoto. Back out there for the 8th inning. He came on and struck out the pinch-hitting Pablo Sandoval with 2 on to end the 7th inning. Misses inside. It's 3-1.
That's why Hanley's going to cut his zone down now. Look middle in, something he can drive and give the Red Sox a lead with. They'll try a fastball away. That's not where he wants it.
Ground ball to short. First out of the inning. Let's go down to Garrett Austin.
Hey, thanks, TC. You guys have been talking about the Expos in the stadium all night. Well, of course, it was built for the 1976 Olympics. The Expos were here from '77 until the franchise moved to Washington to become the Nationals in 2004. Well, since then, it used to have CFL games, but now it's primarily used for conventions, concerts, and the occasional exhibition baseball game. And guys, between the Red Sox fans, the Blue Jays fans, and the Expos fans who are proudly wearing their shirts tonight, this has been an electric atmosphere.
It really has, Karen. A terrific crowd. Another one expected tomorrow. Right back here for day baseball tomorrow. Do you know the CFL team, the football team that played here? Do you know the name of the team?
Alouettes.
Ah, well done. Les Alouettes. So that's an easy one in French. Same name, but just throw les instead of the in front of it. Talking with Garen before the game, it's you know, Montreal, you think you're coming here for hockey. You know, she did hockey for all that time, and you think you're coming up here to go to the Canadiens game.
I'm going to tell you something, TC. You. I'm glad I'm going back to the hotel with you tonight because we're going on the subway.
We're going to take public transportation.
And with all the French you know, I know we're not going to get lost.
I know enough to get us back to the hotel, I think.
That's the critical thing because I don't have a good feeling about a cab tonight at all. Public transportation.
TC, I must admit, I've been very impressed with your French this evening.
Ah, merci beaucoup. Très bien. It's a little, like 2 words here and there.
I mean,
Marie has been here.
But you do it so well. But you do it. You say those 2 words very, very well. I'm
that's
impressed.
it. It's all rolling the R's. You got to go once in a while.
Oui, monsieur.
Bien.
Oui,
Bien.
oui, madame.
Très bien.
Très bien. Très bien. Merci beaucoup. Ground ball. Second baseman. 2 outs here in the 8th. Get in the swing of baseball season. Download the Red Sox schedule today. Visit NESN.com/schedule. You can import the 2016 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. It is très bien. Get a little carried away with it now. Feeling good about it, Jerry. Here's Chris Young. He's got a hit, 1 for 3 on the day. Nope. 2 for 3, 1 for 3.
I got a 1 for 3.
Yeah, 1 for 3, thanks. I've got that mystery inning that's kind of floating somewhere in the 3rd inning there.
Actually, I actually have him making an out in this inning, 4-3. I mean, I don't know.
You're ahead of yourself.
My scorecard is totally messed up right now.
Now, but the veteran knows you don't change that yet because you never know. He might actually do that.
It could happen.
Right? No point messing it up before. Let's see what he does. Missing outside there. You know, the history of Montreal with hockey is what a baseball team here has always had to combat. The loudest ovations I ever heard here is when they introduced Patrick Waugh on opening day behind home plate. Right, he got a 10-minute ovation because he was goalie for the Stanley Cup champ Canadiens. Here's a fly ball line drive, but an easy play for Fields and a 1-2-3 inning for Garoto. Heading to the bottom of the 8th. Noe Ramirez seems to be ready to come in. We're back after this. NESN is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for NESN Clubhouse this season. Visit NESNClubhouse.com and click on Studio Audience to enter your son or daughter's team. The experience includes a pizza party before the show and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a part of the studio audience. Bottom of the 8th here at Olympic Stadium. Game still tied at 2 apiece. Noe Ramirez, the third Red Sox pitcher of the night. Ramirez earning a spot on the opening day roster. You can see what he did last season, but he's been very strong here in spring training play.
And one of the things I like about Ramirez is his delivery, kind of a three-quarter delivery and induces some ground ball outs. And of course, you like strikeout guys at the back end of a ball game, but you also need these sinker ball types to get some double plays as you hit toward the middle of the game. And I think that's one of the reasons Noe Ramirez on this club for the Red Sox.
So Ramirez on the mound. Rowdy Tellez is the hitter here to lead off the inning for the Blue Jays. Defensive changes for the Red Sox. Ryan Lamar is now in right field. Rusney Castillo moves over to center field. Alan Craig takes over for Hanley Ramirez at first. And again, Noe Ramirez on the mound to begin this 8th inning. 5 2/3 innings of work for Stephen Wright tonight. An inning and a third scoreless for Robbie Ross Jr. Castillo back to make the first out of the inning. And like we talk about Pablo Sandoval, Jerry, we have another change here as well, as Sandy Leon is the catcher now for the 8th inning. But Rusney Castillo is an interesting situation. 29 years old, hasn't had a chance to play a lot now over the last couple of years. And essentially, as you're about to begin the season, is your number 5 outfielder.
Yeah, and, Dombrowski said this afternoon, it's pretty clear what he has to do at the major league level, and that's it. They know he can play defense. They know he can track him down in the outfield. But he has yet to prove that he can be a consistent hitter at the major league level. And to gain playing time, that's what he's going to have to do.
And the question was, would he be better served going down to Pawtucket so he could play every day?
And they said no to that. I found that strange.
They said no, but you notice a couple of times, for now.
For now.
For now,
yeah.
It's not the best move for us. Josh Tolle at the plate. Fouls that off. 1-1 the count. But if you're talking about a platoon of Brock Holt in left field against right-handed pitchers and Chris Young against left-handed pitchers, not a lot of time for Rusney Castillo to get in.
No, not at all. And especially with Bradley swinging the bat right now, and you're not going to mess with Mookie Betts except give him an occasional day off.
Yeah, you may see Castillo against a really tough lefty play center field, right? Or if you have Holt give an infielder a day off, then you might have Castillo in left against a right-handed pitcher.
You might, yeah, but playing time's not going to be abundant for him, that's for sure. And it's tough to produce that way. It really is.
Crowd coming to life with their seat backs. Or is that the subway we're taking later tonight?
I think it'll be quieter than this, I hope. It's going to be a new experience for me, taking a subway back.
When's the last time you took public transportation home after a game?
I can't recall.
There's a slow chopper up the first base line, but it goes foul. Probably a good thing, because Tolle probably would have beaten that out. Ace Ticket has all the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway Park, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. So treat yourself for someone special. Call aceticket.com or 1-800-MY-SEATS today. Now everybody's getting in the act. The Montreal version of the Thunder Sticks. Swing and a miss there as Tolle goes down as Leon gets it to Craig in time for the second out of the inning.
This game really has settled down. I mean, it started off with a home run, and you said, well, this might be a high-scoring ball game tonight, but it's been excellent pitching all the way through by both sides.
Noe Ramirez comes in and gets the first 2 outs of the 8th inning. David Adams trying to keep this inning going now. Yeah, Matt Barnes and Noe Ramirez are the 2 guys who really pitched their way onto this staff as relievers. Obviously, the injury first to Eduardo Rodriguez moved Stephen Wright from a potential long inning bullpen guy to a starter. And then the Carson Smith injury opened up another spot in the bullpen. Barnes has been terrific at spring training, and as you said, they really like the different look they get out of Noe Ramirez.
That's a completely different style than anybody else in the bullpen.
Adams able to hold up as they check with first base umpire Jerry Meals. 2-1 is the count. Carson Smith, of course, that forearm injury, which you fear the worst at the beginning, but now they're saying he's been playing catch, so beginning the process of getting back on the mound for a game. It'll be a little while before you see him. And Eduardo Rodriguez, sounding more and more like mid-May, is probably almost optimistic. That might be about as good as you can hope from what you're hearing. Yeah, he's essentially starting from scratch, Joe.
Yeah, there's a long program to go through before he gets back up here with the Red Sox. Throwing on the side, simulated games, you know, back-to-back mound sessions, all kind of stuff that he's got to go through. And then get ready to be able to throw 90 to 100 pitches in a game before he can get back to the big leagues.
What is that, 4 or 5 starts?
Yeah,
to get up to
at least.
2-out walk issued here as Adams reaches to keep the inning going. Eduardo Rodriguez, of course, one of the real bright spots of the last place season, a young pitcher who burst onto the scene, but now will start on the DL. And Casey Kochman up to bat here with 2 down and a man on. Yeah, a little time with the Red Sox, you remember? Casey Kochman. Is that 2012?
Sounds about right.
First baseman, terrific defensive first baseman. The Tampa Bay Rays had a strong offensive year. Shallow fly ball. In to get it is Castillo, and we head to the 9th, tied at 2 in Montreal. Big Stadium in Montreal, game all tied at 2 apiece. The Blue Jays doing what they did last year, using the long ball to forge a lead. A leadoff home run for Kevin Pillar. First batter Stephen Wright would face, making it a 1-0 game. Then another leadoff home run in the 2nd inning. Michael Saunders getting his 4th of the preseason. Dead center field. Drove that one a long way. The Red Sox had to battle back from a 2-0 deficit. They would do so, getting on the board in the third inning. Xander Bogaerts with a ground ball out to third base. That would bring home Mookie Betts. He began the inning with a double, and then in the fifth inning, a leadoff double for Jackie Bradley Jr. and an RBI single for Betts.
To me, that was the best at bat by a Red Sox player tonight. The Mookie Betts base hit situation, man on second base. You're looking to advance him at least to third. He gets an inside pitch. He goes to center field with it and gets the bonus, drives in a run. I thought that was the best Red Sox at bat of the night.
And we come to the ninth inning after all that, tied at 2 apiece. And David Aardsma on the mound, a former Red Sox reliever. Pitched with Boston back in 2008. 47 appearances that year. Last season was in the Atlanta organization. Made 33 appearances with the Braves. Now trying to earn a spot on this Blue Jays roster. Way back here on the foul ball is Ryan Lamar, who leads off in this ninth inning. Aardsma was my pick to click that year, Jerry. In the studio, we kept, you make your predictions. I thought Aardsma was going to have a terrific year for the Red Sox in 08. I was a year off. A year later, he had 38 saves for the Mariners. He's one of the best relievers in baseball for a couple of years. 69 saves in 09 and 2010 combined. Swing and a miss there from Lamar. Strike 3, the call. The first out of the inning. So Aardsma will face Alan Craig here with one down in the ninth. Last year, Aardsma with Atlanta held righties to a 167 batting average. Wound up being released by the Braves September 1st. Signed a minor league contract with the Blue Jays prior to this spring training. He's a member of the Cape Cod League Hall of Fame. Inducted back in 2010. Alan Craig, meantime, with one down here in the ninth inning, trying to get something going. Craig has hit .297 here at spring training. Been a pretty good camp for Alan Craig, Jerry. You talk to scouts, and they think he's starting to look a little more like the Alan Craig of old.
Yeah, the problem with Craig, as far as getting him to another ball club is his salary. And I'm sure his name has been brought up a number of times, but, who's going to pay it?
Gets out of the way of that one and draws a one-out walk here in the ninth.
But I got to agree with you, TC. I thought this is the best, since he's been in a Red Sox uniform, the best we've seen him swing the bat this spring.
Nate Castillo now with one out, one on here in the ninth inning. Yeah, I mean, if you're the Red Sox, you're kind of in a bind, right? I'm sure you can make a deal if you're willing to eat most of the contract,
sure,
but you don't want to see him go on a tear with another team while you're paying him all that money. On the other hand, you keep him in the organization, you don't really have any room for him as the current Major League roster is constructed. But again, we'll have to see how it plays out for Hanley Ramirez, right? You don't mind having a little extra first base depth.
Well, don't forget, too, you also got Travis Shaw that you can move over to first base if you had to.
Fly ball, short right field. Carrera coming in, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Well, I would play desperation baseball here with Craig at first base. Craig's not the best of runners. I'd let him try a delay steal. 2 outs, infield's got to be back. Trying to get that go-ahead run in scoring position. Why not? I don't think we'll see it, but I would do it.
I think we'd see a lot of things you might not see if you were the manager. Let's get after it. Win or lose, we're going to go down aggressively. Rutledge came into the game for Pedroia after Dustin Pedroia got a base hit in the 7th inning. Rutledge came in as a pinch runner, stayed in at second base. Now batting here in the 9th against David Ardsman. Back at it tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock. We'll be on Nesson. Hope you can join us there. The final game of the 2016 preseason. Then we're on to Cleveland. Fouled back there. $4 o'clock start time in Cleveland for opening day. 2:30 our pregame coverage begins. Full opening day ceremonies from Progressive Field. The first of 3 straight opening days you'll be part of. You'll have opening day on Monday in Cleveland, opening day on Friday in Toronto, and then the Fenway Park opener Monday the 11th.
Yeah, we catch a couple on the road, then finally get our Fenway opener.
Rutledge takes ball 4, so 2 on now in the 9th inning for the Red Sox. And Brock Holt with a chance to do something here. It'll be an interesting opener in Toronto against these Blue Jays because they'll raise their division banner, and there'll be all kinds of talk of the Bautista bat flip, and they'll be pretty fired up with a big crowd at Rogers Center. Here's Holt. Takes a called strike. Brock Holt did not start the game against the lefty. They had Chris Young in left field. Line drive, right field. Getting over there in time is Carrera for the final out. So the Blue Jays coming up at the bottom of the 9th of a tie game in Montreal. Bottom of the 9th here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. We are all tied up at 2 apiece. 4th pitcher of the night for the Red Sox. It'll be Matt Barnes coming in. And Barnes, a terrific spring. You see his numbers from last season in that 5.44 ERA. Certainly doesn't look great, but he really turned it around And down the stretch was terrific in his final 9 appearances, a 0.87 earned run average, and really seemed to figure out what he needed to do as a reliever, Jerry. By his own admission, he thought turning into a reliever meant you could just air it out, but you can't just overthrow everything. You still got to have control of it.
And you can't forget your secondary pitches. You know, it seemed like that when he started relieving, it was basically fastball after fastball. And one thing the Red Sox wanted him to work on was getting a better breaking ball, and he's shown that this spring.
Red Sox open up Monday in Cleveland. We've got coverage beginning an hour and a half before the first pitch at 2:30. 2 more at Progressive Field and a weekend set in Toronto. And the Red Sox come home for a 10-game homestand. Baltimore, Toronto, and Tampa Bay. So all AL East over that homestand, including the 4-day wraparound weekend series with the Blue Jays over Patriots Day. Of course, we show you the start time of the games there, Jerry, but we urge you to join us an hour early for pregame coverage. We'll be in studio with Dennis Eckersley and Jim Rice and Steve Lyons and Tim Wakefield, not all at once, but kind of rotate them through. And we have Dennis Eckersley and Steve Lyons double barrel on opening day. And Dave O'Brien will be in Cleveland for the call.
I thought maybe you'd be on site in Cleveland, but you know you're better off in the studio back in Watertown.
Well, with the weather forecast,
From what I hear, yeah,
in the studio, yeah. Richard Urena be hitting here in the 9th inning, and a base hit through the right side of the infield to start the inning. Crowd coming to life here in Montreal.
Let's see how the Expos play. The Blue Jays play this. I'm in Montreal, I think, in Expos. Let's see if they sacrifice him to second base and try to get this 3-2 win here in the bottom of the 9th. I don't know if they're going to go any more than 9 innings this game. Both teams only have a certain amount of pitches for 2 days, so we'll have to wait and see.
It's a big crowd to go home.
It's call it a 2-2 tie.
Well, it's Canada, right?
It's they get 2 points, right?
Right, it's a hockey. Yeah, it's a tie. Well, you need a shootout. They don't do that anymore.
Maybe we could have
a home run derby.
Yeah, maybe we could have a hockey shootout or something.
Roman Fields, for his second half out of the game, a sacrifice bunt in the 7th inning. Runner goes, and the throw in time. Sandy Leone throws him out. The first out of the inning.
That was kind of weird right there. It was almost like the hitter, Field, was swinging just to protect the base runner. The pitch is almost like a pitch out. It's a fastball away, as you can see. Now, I don't know if they had a hit and run play on, but that wasn't much of an effort if it was a hit and run play. You see the peek back by the base runner, which would tell you maybe it was a hit and run, and that was not a direct route to second base by him.
Swing and a miss.
He's just overmatched right now. Fields is.
Yeah, Barnes is rearing back. Back up here, a little below us. You know, I did a game last year where they had a home run derby to determine the baseball game. The AA All-Star game last year, which we did up in Portland, Maine.
Dude, telling me about that, yeah.
It's a great idea. They'll never do it in Major League Baseball, obviously. But I'll tell you what, both teams came out on the field to watch their guys in a home run derby. They had a walk-off home run derby winner.
Yeah, the fans might get a kick out of something like that tonight.
You know, you think about these type of events, it wouldn't be a bad way to put something like that in place, right? An all-star game or an exhibition game. Fair ball down the third base line, so got a piece of it, put it in play, and Fields is aboard with a base hit.
Now, that's why you never know. I mean, he was completely overmatched in that at bat against Barnes, and then just taps one down at third base on a breaking ball. I mean, he's very late on the breaking ball, and just taps it down the third baseline. Travis Shaw going over to make the play, but he's got no throw. Now let's see if they try something else here. A hit and run again or a possible steal. Try anything to get a man in scoring position.
Andy Burns took a called third strike against Robbie Ross in the 7th inning. Barnes checking the runner back as Fields dives in. Ninth inning, 1 down, 1 on. We are tied at 2 here in Montreal.
That's a big lead he's got at first base, too. He's got 1 foot on the carpet. Anytime you see on the artificial surface the base runner get 1 foot, that right foot on a carpet, that's a pretty good lead.
Runner goes. Leon with the throw, not in time. So Fields with a big lead and some big speed takes second base.
Yeah, not even close that time. That's why I think the first attempt was a hit and run. This just a straight out steal. There you see the foot on the carpet, open stance. He's gone. He got a great jump. And there you see Barnes. It kind of takes a long time to get the ball to home plate. Really no contest at all at second base. So the potential winner in scoring position.
So now with the runner on, it's an 0-1 count to Andy Burns. Runner goes for third. Here's the throw from Leon. Umpire waiting to see if he's got the ball. Looking to see if his glove is in there where the foot is, and he's out.
That to me is foolish baseball. I mean, you're in the bottom of the 9th inning. You've got a man in scoring position. Why even take an attempt to go to third base unless you're standing up? And he doesn't even have a good lead. He doesn't have a walking lead. There's the long wait. You can see the foot is probably on the glove of Travis Shaw at third base. I think that's what might have happened. So they look. He keeps the tag there. And finally, the out call is made.
That's the most deliberate out call I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, that was, I don't know what he was looking for, to be honest with you.
I guess he's trying to see was the glove wedged in between the cleat and the bag.
Yeah. But that's not good base running there. You're already in scoring position.
Like I said, you're already in scoring position. Now you got 2 outs, nobody on in the 9th inning. Strike 2 to Andy Burns. There's been a lot going on while Burns has been at the plate.
Yeah, and it's nothing to do with
throws to first, the stolen base that he's thrown out, and a long delay to wait for the call.
Take another look at that play at third base, and let's see what caused the delay. We got the glove wedged. We got the foot. You can see Shaw pushing the foot as much as he possibly can. Pushes it, and then he's out. He pushed him off the bag. That was a great shot, great angle there. We could have been here for months waiting for that to happen, right?
I thought he was gonna start sifting away some of the dirt and getting in there like an archaeologist, looking down. Third base ump Toby Bass got it right in the end. Barnes has given up 2 singles this inning. He's had 2 runners erased trying to steal a base. It's getting loud here at Olympic Stadium as Burns fouls it off again. Good at bat here for Andy Burns through all the distractions. The 3-2 from Barnes. Swing and a miss, and he got him. So Barnes strikes out Burns, and we head to the 10th here at Olympic Stadium. Here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, 2-2 the score. Each team with 10 hits. A strange base running inning there in the 9th for the Blue Jays. The announced attendance 52,682. So a terrific crowd tonight. They're expecting an even bigger crowd tomorrow. But they got a couple of boos from the crowd just now because they announced that we will play a 10th inning, and that is it. If it finishes tied, you get your 2 points, or 1 point each in the case of the old NHL time.
Yeah, generally, you know, in spring training games, and this is still considered a spring training game, after 9 innings, if you run out of pitches, the game's off. They're going to get one more inning out of both teams tonight because they got to save some of the pitches for tomorrow. Remember, a lot of the regulars will not be working in the game tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of guys that, you know, are not going to be on the club because they don't want to waste those arms before opening day, and the Blue Jays do open on Sunday.
In fact, John Gibbons, the Toronto manager, telling us before the game, and I think this is the first time I have ever heard this, that he didn't know who'd be starting tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll make the decision when he gets to the ballpark.
All goes by who pitches tonight.
And why tell the pitcher tonight he won't be able to sleep?
It's going to be someone young. As Pablo Sandoval gets his second at bat of the game, ground ball to short. Nice play there. Sandoval goes down. Nice play by Urena, who came in and charged it. Got his throw across the diamond to Kochman in time to retire Sandoval. And that'll bring up Sandy Leon, who's a busy man there in the 9th inning, throwing at guys left and right. 3 stolen base attempts in the inning, 1 of them successful, 2 of them thrown out.
Yeah, I think 1 was a hit and run attempt and 2 steal attempts. Got the hit and run guy, got a stolen base guy at third. And the play at second, he really had no chance on.
Leon with a ground ball. Urena for the second out of the inning. Red Sox down to their last at bat, I guess. You know there's not going to be an 11th. Good chance for Travis Shaw. He's played the whole game here tonight. Shaw 0 for 4 on the night. Shaw with a long fly ball, but it'll hook foul down the right field line.
Shaw there looked like he was looking for something inside to pull and trying to pull out of the ballpark. Did get a pitch inside, but hooked it foul.
Swing and a miss there. So Pat McCoy ahead 0-2 here in the 10th.
You could see that coming after pulling one foul on a pitch inside. Back to the breaking ball, down and away.
Shaw fouls that off down to third baseline. Started 55 games last season, Jerry, and the Red Sox were 32-23 in the games he started. Kind of burst on the scene out of nowhere last year, but never looked back. This year works his way into the starting lineup on opening day. "13 homers in 65 games total last season. .270 batting average. 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2.
It's interesting, with 2 strikes, then they went into the shift against Travis Shaw. They had not been in the shift until they got 2 strikes on him.
Full count now as Shaw battles. Shaw draws a walk to keep this 10th inning going for the Red Sox. That'll bring up Chris Young as we get a pinch runner for Travis Shaw. His night will come to an end after he draws the walk. Mauricio Dubon, who we saw last week up in Sarasota. Runner with some speed comes out here as Chris Young. He's had such great numbers against lefties. Faces a lefty with 2 outs here in the 10th.
Here's a case where I wouldn't run. You know, I let Chris Young, lefty against righty, try to take his big swing, as he's had success throughout his career against left-handed pitches.
Pop fly in the first base side. Just out of play, bounces off the home dugout. We got a Cubs hat here tonight.
A lot of different baseball caps here tonight. Red Sox hats, Blue Jays hats, Expos hats, Cubs hats. Said a little bit of everything.
Cubs are playing in Vegas this weekend for their end of spring training exhibitions.
Losing their meal money for the first road trip.
Maybe doubling it. You never know. Think positive, Jared. The check back first. Vaughn gets back. Pat McCoy was signed by the Blue Jays in December. His only major league experience, 2014, with the Tigers. He had been signed by Dave Dombrowski in the Detroit Tigers after the 2013 season. Outside there. There's the 1-1. Outside again.
Two balls, 1 strike. That may change up as we see the runner at first base, Dubon.
And again missing outside. McCoy being very careful with Chris Young. Now we've got a 3-1 count. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks with 2 outs here in the 10th inning. And Ryan Lamar. Visit on the mound. I didn't see a clock here. I don't know if they have a clock in Olympic Stadium.
No clock in baseball.
I didn't see a 30-second clock for the meeting on the mound.
Yeah, they haven't got to that point yet.
You only got 2 games. You don't really need to invest in hardware.
Waiting for a new stadium.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hope tomorrow they have something to eat for press dining.
You guys are very upset by the lack of food up here in the press box.
Generally, we eat about 4 o'clock, and we kept sitting here waiting, and nothing was happening. So we went out for a piece of pizza, came back up, and there was some finger sandwiches here later on. But for us, it was getting very late.
Have you ever had a smoked meat sandwich? It's a Montreal.
No, I have not. No.
Maybe tomorrow I'll go down to the concourse and buy you a smoked meat sandwich. All right?
Can I cut it in half?
We'll split it.
All right.
Ryan Lamar, 2-0 count now. 2 on in the 10th. Fouls that one back. Told you about Lamar's hockey career. What a great opportunity for a hockey guy to be a hero in Montreal. Played growing up in Michigan. Went to the University of Michigan where he played baseball, but was close with all the players on the hockey team. He's got a great hitter's count here. He's worked it to 3-1. Lamar, line drive, center field, all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. Waved around is Young, a 2-run double for Ryan Lamar, and the Red Sox take a 4-2 lead here in the 10th.
Oh, Lamar got on top of a high fastball that time, and that didn't take very long to get over the head of Fields in center field. Watch the location of this pitch. It's going to be up, it's going to be away, and going with it is Lamar. You can see the center field of Fields. He's got no chance. That ball was quickly over his head. And with the 2 outs and everybody off on contact, 2 runs come across. So the Red Sox pick up the 2-run lead. After back-to-back walks by McCoy, Lamar makes him pay for it.
Lamar fired up at second base when he got in there with the 2 runs driven in here in the 10th inning. Lamar with 7 RBI in preseason spring training play here. You can see he's fired up. Why not? Nobody wants to go home tied, Jerry.
No, and he gets a chance to come up and play in a big league game. He'll be heading back to Pawtucket after these 2 games. Big thrill for him.
Here's Alan Craig, ground ball, second base. That'll end the inning, but the Red Sox get 2 on the 2-run double for Lamar. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Up by 2 for Boston. Ryan Lamar with the extra innings production, the 2-run, 2-out double in the 10th inning, giving the Red Sox their first lead of the game, 4-2 now. As the Blue Jays come to bat here in the bottom of the 10th, Red Sox looking for the extra innings win as Luis Isla will come in to try to nail it down. Acquired from the San Francisco Giants in August of last season for Alejandro De Aza. Isla spent most of last year in High A San Jose, where he made 9 starts, 24 relief appearances.
And the number is not real good. That ERA of almost 6 for Isla. Opponents hitting over 300 against him.
They moved him into the bullpen, and he had a 4.50 ERA in relief, 24 relief appearances after posting an ERA of nearly 9 as a starter. So we will see what Isla can do here in the 10th inning, trying to nail down the save and give the Red Sox a win here in Montreal. He faces Ezequiel Carrera to begin this 10th inning. Sox trailed 2-0 after 2 innings here tonight. Battled back with solo runs in the 3rd and the 5th. And then we had 4 scoreless innings before Ryan Lamar delivered with 2 down in the 10th.
Well, you know, when you come up here to play these games, you hope to put on a good show. And this really, when you get down to it, has been a pretty good baseball game.
You've had a couple of home runs. If you're a Blue Jays fan, if you're a Red Sox fan, you had a terrific Jackie Bradley Jr. play early in the game. Sandy Leon throwing out a couple of base stealers. Good pitching. And then a clutch 2-run double for Ryan Lamar. High pop fly to left field. Young gets over there to make the catch. First out of the inning. Chris Young working 10 innings tonight.
Yeah, he's got the full docket here tonight. Probably get some time off tomorrow. You might see Castillo in the outfield. You might see Brock Holt in the outfield.
One down for Darwin Barney, who struck out to end the 7th inning. It's a line drive to right. Lamar is there to make the catch. 2 down.
There's those lights we were talking about coming into play on that last line drive. Lamar almost lost it in a light bank. And as we talked about earlier in the game, there are 3 light banks setting here in this ballpark. See the top bank, and then there's that one below it, and there's one lower than that.
There's another one even below that, which is a full line of lights.
Yeah, which I think is the real problem with.
Yeah, those are the ones you don't usually see. You don't usually see lights that low in a stadium. There you see the 3rd lower bank, right? So as you're tracking that ball, it's going through 1, 2, maybe even 3 different banks of lights.
Right.
Big crowd in Montreal tonight, and they've seen 2 teams go into extra innings. Red Sox never led until the 10th. Now Luis Isla trying to get Rowdy Tellez to put this one away. For the Red Sox tomorrow, Sean O'Sullivan expected to be the starter. 11th year pro, spent last year with Philadelphia and pitched well at the beginning of camp. He was in the conversation for surprises. Strike 2 here, so we'll see O'Sullivan go at it.
Big a challenge right there by Isla. Fastball, throwing it right by.
The 2-2 from Isla, he got him, and the Red Sox win in extra innings as Isla strikes out Tellez to end the game. So handshakes in the visitors' dugout as the Red Sox come north of the border and come away with an extra innings win. An exciting night of baseball here as baseball returns to Montreal. Pedro Martinez and the other Expos greats got the night started in impressive fashion. Stephen Wright with an 8-strikeout performance, and the Red Sox battling back from an early 2-0 deficit come away with a 4-2 lead. Now let's go over the final time. Boston 4, Toronto 2. We're back.